What's up, everyone? Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody that came in. What's up, SSB? What's going on? That's Mendoza. Salute. I don't know who that is on his profile pic. Salute to you. Jason Bourne. What's up, my brother? We got Durden. Salute to Durden. He says, "Are we going to talk conspiracy theories from the farm?" I don't know. We're gonna talk. We're gonna. You know, I'm gonna let people on and express their opinion of Canelo Alvarez and is he the face of boxing and what does that mean to them? All right, Ness Mendoza. All right, so everybody saw the fight Saturday night. Uh, I'll give you a quick rundown of what I thought of the fight itself. Um, the fight was it was going pretty much the way I think most people thought, and that is that Canelo Alvarez would beat him, whether he got stopped or it went to the scorecards. I thought at the time of the stoppage, I only gave Billy Joe Saunders 2 rounds, and that would be round 5 and round 7. That's it, pretty much. Those were the only rounds I thought I could have given him. Um, he didn't seem to have anything to make Canelo worry about anything, and that's what we've been seeing. That's what I had been noticing is that a lot of these guys at 168 really don't. Put it this way: all his fights south of the middleweight division has been Canelo being the stronger guy, stronger than um, most of his opponents in the ring. All of his opponents. You could go back to Callum Smith. Um, Callum Smith was afraid to exchange with him. Was afraid to let his hands go. He was just basically shelling up throughout the whole fight, getting hit with big shots. You saw what he did to his arm. And in this one, he hits, his fight with Billy Joe Saunders, he hits him with an uppercut. Billy Joe Saunders had been ducking his head so low, right in place for the uppercut that, with one shot, and I think Canelo was timing him for that one. With that one shot, he broke. At least the reports are that he broke his orbital bone. And Canelo said as much after the fight, the post fight interview in the ring, that he felt that he broke his face. Canelo is aware of how strong he is, right? And he knows that he's capable of doing that with one punch, and that's what he did to Billy Joe Saunders. He broke his face. He retired. I think he just quit. I'm not saying that he didn't get his face broken like some people are saying. I don't know how. I'll wait to proven otherwise that was all bullshit, right? I think you're capable of breaking a guy's face. It's just amazing he did it with. It wasn't like he was working on that eye. He did it with one shot, and he broke his eye socket. It's excruciating pain. But Billy Joe Saunders basically came into this fight knowing he was going to lose, or at least he said that much, right? He said as much that he didn't feel he can win this fight when it was first announced after the Yildirim fight that this fight would take place on Cinco de Mayo. And I don't blame him for feeling that way. I mean, look, you're fighting Canelo Alvarez, who's a very talented fighter. Then on top of that, you're doing it in Texas. Huge, huge Mexican fan base out there. and it's Canelo Alvarez. And, you saw that once the crowd was allowed to, to come in at full capacity, like over 70,000 people showed up. And so I also take that into consideration that Billy Joe Saunders just froze. And, he's kind of a limited fighter. And with a guy who doesn't really have any power, doesn't rely on power to beat you, going against Canelo Alvarez, who's, it seems to me, he's getting stronger in every fight, you know, going forward. He's just getting stronger, especially at 168. I don't blame him for thinking that there's no way he could beat that guy. And I think even if he didn't really break his orbital bone, he blackened his eye and he quit. I think even if he didn't break it, meaning, it was just a black eye, he was just going to quit. And maybe he was looking for a way out, right? He probably said to himself, well, look, I'm not really winning this fight. I know some of these announcers on the zone, they're just clowns. I think one of them had, I believe one of them had Billy Joe Saunders winning the fight. I don't even think he scored the eighth round. I scored the eighth round, and the other broadcaster, the British guy, he did, and he had it 5-3. The British guy had it 5-3, and I want to say Chris Mannix had it 4-3, 4 rounds to 3 in favor of Billy Joe Saunders, which to me is just ridiculous. You can't. I didn't see where he could have won 4 rounds. Gave him 2, and even in those 2 rounds, you can make an argument that those rounds were close. They were very close rounds. And so I do believe that there was a bit of quit in him. But this whole thing about him being the face of boxing, what does that mean? Does it mean because he's the most popular fighter, or he has one of the biggest fan base? There's a lot of money surrounding him. What does that mean exactly? To be the face of boxing. I will admit that he's either the biggest star in boxing or one of the biggest, right? You got Anthony Joshua, you got Tyson Fury. Those guys have an argument for that as well. Does it mean he's the ultimate A-side compared to his opponents? And, therefore to beat him, you just got to beat, you just don't have to beat him. You got to beat the system. Does it mean that? I'm curious to basically find out what people mean by that. I see this going around a lot. He's the A-side. He's the face of boxing. Therefore, what exactly? You can't just beat Canelo in a boxing fight where you just score it, round by round, or is it something else to that? Or that's not what people are talking about, right? Are they just talking about he is the face of boxing because he's popular, he's pound for pound the best, he's making history? And I do agree, like, if you really just look at his resume, if you just looked at his resume and you see what he's doing, I would agree that it's pretty impressive. If he legitimately drawed with Gennady Golovkin and then beat him in the second fight, certainly he held his own. I think in both fights. I think obviously he clearly lost the first one, and then in the second one, it was pretty close where it could have gone either way. I totally agree with that. But if you just look at the record and you see what he's accomplished, absolutely, you would just say, man, this guy is on his way to being an all-time great, one of the best fighters to ever come out of Mexico. But I think for me, there's definitely asterisks behind that, and then you could say that about any other fighter. Anyway, I see that we got some people in the chat, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the link. Give me 1 second. Yep, I'm gonna drop the link. I think it's better when I invite people on. Here we go. All right, there's the link in the chat. Anybody that wants to jump on and tell me what they thought about Saturday night, whether or not they believe Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing, and what does it mean to them when they if they consider him, you know, the golden boy of boxing today, as of right now. Yeah. It's amazing how he's just so much stronger than these guys, right? And I'm not going to get into, you know, just the PD stuff and all that, but it's just pretty amazing. And then he's a student of the game of boxing. Yeah, he plots and he's just coming forward. He stands in that K shape, just ready to rip into you with devastating shots. He's not as active, and that's obviously right. He's not as active of a puncher as in compared to, you know, when he was in the lower weight classes like 154 and even 160. It seems like since he's been fighting north of the middleweight division, you know, he's been taking one punch at a time. I think it's because he's so strong that he doesn't really need to. I think in times he could throw combinations still like he used to. Obviously, that doesn't go away. But I believe that he feels that he doesn't have to. So he's just conserving energy throughout the fight so he can maintain that same power, or at least very close to it in the later rounds while you're getting tired. You know, it's a smart game plan. I agree. But, you know, it seems like a lot of these fighters, man, fight their worst fight when it comes to him. You know, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. And I'm not saying it's legitimate or not. I have my questions, but I'm not saying that it's definitely not just facing Canelo Alvarez that makes them do that. Some people freeze up when it comes to the big lights and everybody's watching you. You're fighting, you know, the the pound for pound king, the ultimate A side, right? The guy that's earning the biggest money. I don't know if that's true or not, whether he's earning the biggest money. I think AJ might have something to say about that, Tyson Fury. But, you know, at least south of the heavyweight division, I don't see no one making the kind of money he's making right now. Probably not even Manny Pacquiao. All right. Oops. Give me 1 second. All right. Back to the stream. What's going on, official?
Canelo.
Canelo. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was pretty funny that he embarrassed Andrade that way.
It is.
So, official, what did you think about the fight, man?
I mean, bro, where do I begin with? I mean, Canelo. I mean, okay, he performed extremely well, and look, big props to you because you've been always the one always saying on BDA show that the thing with him now is it's all about his strength.
Yep.
That he's clearly showing, his amazing strength and improving punching power. Now, to some point, you can say that it can be partially because he's training himself less at 168, but also some supplements. Now, fighting Billy Joe Saunders, Billy Joe was never an A-level fighter, not even at his prime weight at 160.
Mhm.
So at 168, I mean, he's even worse. But yeah, I would say Canelo was looking powerful, did what he was supposed to do, and in that sense, he was performing well. But uh, I'm just wondering why are people bigging him up so much. I mean, yeah, he's very good. He's a well-rounded fighter, but I mean, it isn't like going through Billy Joe Saunders, Yildirim, Smith, and corpse of Sergey Kovalev is deserving some amazing respect. But of course, I can tell you there are many things that I liked about his performance or what he was doing in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. I thought again, like, there's nothing really. I hear people say he's improved. I think what's there's some truth to that, but not like in the sense of skills, right? So he throws less punches now since moving up to 168. What's impressive to me is his physical attributes going up in weight. Being 5'8", 9. I doubt 5'9", but more like 5'8", right? And he's just stronger than these guys who've been there, been at that weight class. So these are guys that are bigger. I'm just taking for right now. I'm not even going to talk about the rumors or even some that are confirmed that he slaps a rehydration clause on these fighters. If you just judge it by its by what you're witnessing, um, or just the format, right? He's jumping up in weight. He's just a lot stronger, official. That's what I see. He's so much stronger to the point where these guys don't want to engage in punching back at him. They're hesitant. Uh, you know, Sometimes I was watching Precise video and he was showing how these guys don't throw full extension. Okay, look, he believes, and there's a lot of people to believe that, and I don't blame them, that they're doing that purposely. In other words, like, they're not really there to win, and that could be true, but it could also be that they're afraid. They could actually be afraid of what's coming back. I mean, does he hit that hard? I mean, you look at his knockout percentage, throughout his career, and you'll see that it's somewhere in the 60s, a little above 60%, close to 65%, something like that, right? And you take that for you take his career, his 5 fights, I believe he's had north of the middleweight division, and the guy's basically got a almost 100% knockout ratio. You know what I'm saying? The only person that survived was Callum Smith, but Callum Smith was basically in retreat mode. He wasn't even letting his hands go. He was just like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna try to make it to the 12th round."
Yeah, exactly. And look, I would say I disagree with Precise on that one. I'm I do think that it's more about them being afraid, and plus, you cannot throw every punch as a textbook punch because there are setup punches, there are punches that are purposely aiming at the guard of your opponent, etc. But I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. Now with Canelo, look, yeah, that's that's right. Definitely, it's weird how his punching power has improved, but it's explainable also in some way. I mean, if you take a look at the way he was attacking Billy Joe Saunders, so like we said, he throws less punches, so not as many setup punches. He would usually spring in with his whole body going forward, throwing left hook to make Billy Joe Saunders bend down and throw that right hand. And but right now you can see that when he's throwing that left hook right hand, he's going forward, putting his
Yes.
whole weight behind his punches, while before that he was stationary at 154.
Yeah,
at Canelo weight 160. Yeah, so there are difference, in that regard. And plus, like I said the other time on BDA show, I mean, in order to preserve his stamina and at the same time gain the respect of his opponent with punching power, he throws less, but those one or two punches that he throws, he's throwing them with full force, to
yeah.
make them respect his power.
What's up, Gonzalo?
Hey,
How you
what's
doing,
up?
brother?
Chilling in the hospital. The tube's out. That's good. I'm here just
Uh,
kicking back with my son. Posting guard.
Big
God
up,
bless, man.
Gonzalo.
God bless you and Mateo, man, your wife. I heard the good news, bro.
Yeah, just gotta continue monitoring. That's a good point. I'm actually gonna get off because there's like noise, but maybe
You
I
could talk.
could get on a little bit later. That's
All
a
right,
good
man.
point. When if he throws last, then the fighter exhales and releases all that that breath from his body, and the force that the opponent throws a punch with. That means you're just relaxing after you punch. Basically, I don't know. There's another word for that, but then that's when Canelo counters, and like official said, it's not leverage. It's he's balling up and throwing all his weight behind his punch and under his uppercuts. Yeah, using his legs. So there's a difference between the Julian Jackson type of leverage, with long arms, where you're creating power by
Mhm.
what's the word? Basic geometry. You get a long limbs and you
He uses
and the
his
physics.
body. He
Yeah, and the
uses his
physics.
whole
That's that
body.
type
Yeah.
of part. This is another one. This is like similar to Mike Tyson, but obviously he's just throwing one punch or two punch at a time. Yep.
Did
I'm
you?
gonna get off.
All right, Gonzalo.
Yep.
God
There's
bless you,
like this
brother.
little
But
beeping sound. That's why.
I mean, it's not annoying me for sure. So you can stay on if you want to. But
Okay.
did you hear Jimmy use that old school term? I haven't heard that in a long time. He says Canelo plods forward in that K shaped stance, just ready to rip into you. And I thought, yeah, that's exactly what he does. He does that especially more now since putting on the muscle weight, and he does like that. It's like a baseball player. If you ever see like baseball players, guys that hit big home runs, there's some guys they use their whole body, their legs, the torque from their waist, and then to the arm, right? And then there's some guys who are so strong, arm strong, that they don't need to use all of that. There'll be a little bit of movement towards their leg going up to the torso, but it's mainly the arm strength. It's mainly the arm strength that they have. I think with Canelo is in the type of shape that he's in, that it allows him to. Well, look, he throws less punches now, right? He definitely throws less punches, but it's still, he rips into every punch, and when he hits these guys, I've seen it with Callum Smith. I've seen it with Jim, I don't even count, but Callum Smith and excuse me, Billy Joe Saunders, dude, it's like child's play. It's like I'm playing with my little brother who's not fully developed yet. He's not as developed as me, or just like some guy who's we're all the same age, but he's the man child. He's the one that got like the man strength. He's already totally matured. That's what it looks like to me, and it's just crazy to see that in boxing, where you're going up against professionals. Yeah, look, say what you want about Billy Joe and Callum Smith and guys like that, but these are guys that they've had success. They worked their way to become champions. They fought good fights. It, yeah, it's crazy to see these guys fold under pressure, going up against Canelo.
But you know what? Recognize. I want to add something. I would say that at the same time, we should not be as surprised that he's doing what he's doing strength-wise at 168. I mean, yeah, you can say he's definitely much shorter than those other guys at 168, much shorter on average. But we have to take into consideration that he was training himself all this time in all these previous weight classes. All I have to do is just to remind you that uh, even in 2013, which was 8 years ago, he was coming in the ring 173, 174, 175 pounds,
Yeah.
in the ring. So 8 years later he's at 168. So yeah, he's definitely shorter, but he's that muscular type of guy,
Hmm.
and definitely has some strength. And maybe his strength improved partially also because of moving up in weight. And look, in some way it depends on the way you're throwing your punches. It can even partially explain keeping or even improving his punching power. I mean, you have those thudding type of punches and explosive ones. Now, just like Pacquiao, Canelo is a explosive kind of guy. So if you know how to throw an explosive punch thanks to the rotation of your body, when you add the weight, your punching power you will be able to keep your punching power, or even make it stronger even when you move up, thanks to adding the additional muscle. While those punchers who are not explosive but are just naturally hard, heavy-handed, when they move up, they lose some punching power because they're not explosive. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I
Yeah, you still
clearly.
got to conserve some speed, right? You still have to have speed behind your shots.
Yeah. Those whose punching power is dependent on their speed, on their explosiveness, when they add the muscles, they can bring that power with them to the next weight class. Yeah, exactly, Gonzalo. Thank you.
Yeah, they become a little slower, so the power's still there, but it's not gonna land as as explosive.
Yeah. You see, like when I watch Beterbiev, let's say, who's a naturally bigger guy than Canelo in height, and I believe also in just natural size. You can see when he punches, he doesn't use every part of his body. He could actually use it. He could do it. I've seen him do it, but he really doesn't need to in order to get the shots that he wants, to hurt you. So he can kind of just fight. Um, how you say that? He could fight fluidly. He could fight more fluid and throw more combinations. Where Canelo's establishing right away when he gets into the ring, at least with the opponents he's been in the ring with so far. I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna basically show that very early. He hits them with something, and next thing you know, they're in retreat mode. Canelo's plodding forward, ripping in one shot at a time. Sometimes he throws combinations when it's there for him, but mainly it's one shot at a time, whether it's ripping to your body or coming upstairs, sort of fainting, like he's going to go to the body, then comes upstairs. That's basically Canelo's new thing. Obviously, we know he's capable of doing better than that. We've seen him in there in the second fight against against Golovkin, and even at certain moments in the first fight, where we know that he's more capable of doing other things in fights. But so far, man, it just seems like nobody at 168 can force him to really have to box and use everything. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, yeah, at least when it comes to the opponents that he's been fighting up till now. But I would say it wouldn't be much different even facing the biggest threats at this weight. And I mean, Benavides and Charlo by that. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I would like to see him. I'm so just to make it clear, I'm not talking from a standpoint of a hater. Uh, I would probably pick. I would surely pick. I mean, Canelo over both of them, over Charlo and over Benavides. But however, I would like to see him fighting both of them because they would be way better than any other guy that he fought at 168.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, official and Gonzalo. Do you believe Canelo is the face of boxing?
Well, it depends in what sense do you think? I mean, he's the biggest money guy, etc. Well, it could be questionable. Who's the real money guy, the biggest money guy in between him and Joshua? But yeah, you can, from the business standpoint, you can definitely make the case. Now, from the boxing purist point of view, I mean, even many hardcore fans uh, are sharing that view. Me personally, not really. There are fighters that I like more than him, but yeah, I can say I can see that point of view.
I'm gonna go eat lunch. Then I think I'm gonna drive home.
All right,
Then
brother.
yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
Definitely, bro.
Appreciate it.
Peace, Gonzalo.
Just here. All
All
right,
right,
bye.
Gonzalo.
Later, official. Oh, you click on the camera.
Well, I mean, yeah, he is the cash. He's definitely the cash cow. Guys like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Obviously they're gonna make their fight, if that ever takes off, is gonna be for a lot of money. I don't believe Canelo's ever made as much money as what's being reported for a single fight. Um, AJ Fury, right? But is it 75 million each for both guys, 100 million, some shit like that? So obviously he's never made that kind of money for a single fight, at least not yet. Um, but I hear people say this like he deserves these A sides, and I'm not saying that they're A side advantages. I'm not saying it's 100% affecting what's happening in the ring. Although, at least when it comes to the scorecards, that does have an effect on the fighter. Even if you just had that, I mean, sometimes I hear these boxing fans say this, and they're probably Canelo fanboys, right? There's nothing wrong with being a fan, but like a fanboy, he could do no wrong. He never tested positive for on some bogus technicality, right? But it almost seems like they like what they're saying is, look, he's the A side, he's the face of boxing, therefore you basically have to go through that, right? And anybody who criticizes that, they're just hating. You know, that's the part that I don't like. Because everybody's up for criticism. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's been accused of having A side advantages over fighters. I think that there was a political move uh, um, in Pacquiao's favor, at least in one occasion I can talk of, and that was the whole situation that happened with Chris Algieri versus Ruslan Provodnikov. If you remember, the theme of that fight was the winner fights Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao
Yes,
had just Manny Pacquiao had got knocked out like a year or two um, before he was going to fight Algieri. He ended up fighting Algieri, and Ruslan is a big puncher. I don't think Pacquiao was personally afraid of him, but I think that there was people that said, I could see Pacquiao beating him, but what if he catches Pacquiao with a big shot, knocks him out, some type of injury happens, and the big fight with Floyd, which was right around the corner, gets postponed. So this is what I mean. But when you bring up Canelo, and this happens with everybody, I'm not just saying that this only happens with Canelo. This happens with every fighter that becomes a superstar. It seems like when you bring these things up, it's like, uh, you know, you're getting always constantly accused of being, a Canelo hater. Now, me personally, I don't like the diva stuff, so therefore I don't like Canelo in that sense. Um, of course, as a boxing fan, as an underdog boxing fan, I want to see somebody beat him. Absolutely, I would love to see somebody beat him. But that doesn't mean that I can't be fair in terms of the criticism and the praises that I feel that he deserves. And I just we see way too much of that. What do you think?
Yeah, well, see what you said about that Algeria versus Provodnikov fight is interesting. I never saw it that way, and to be honest, I, I've personally now you may be right, of course, but personally, I
That's just
I
a
wouldn't.
theory. Before, real quick,
Yeah,
official. That's just my theory. I'm not saying like I know that's what happened. It's a
sure,
fact.
sure. No,
Yeah,
no, of course, I get you. But all I'm trying to say is that I don't believe that they did it in order to give Pacquiao an easier fight because Pacquiao's been saying for a long time that both Pacquiao and Provodnikov that they would have no problem facing each other despite being trained by the
exactly.
same coach. Uh, what I personally think happened is the New York Boxing Commission fucking it up because Algieri is from the area, local guy. He was the American, and so I do think it was rather New York Boxing Commission, fucking that fight up and basically
Algeria
giving.
being from New York too. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, so I do think that's the reason why they gave Algeria that gift, basically, because Provatnikov beat him up, and perhaps I would even say that HBO back in the day would much more likely prefer to see Pacquiao against Provatnikov. It would be a hell of a fight to promote, but. Yeah, see Pacquiao, even as a superstar in some kind of way, I would not say he was the underdog, but well, we seen him, losing a bullshit decision to Bradley, things like that. So he was never a diva, and also he was always being the one giving the opponents great paydays, much better than Floyd was given, and things like that. And yeah, people loved him.
Yeah.
Hello, guys.
Diego, what's up?
Diego, what's up, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
I'm just here doing a late night boxing stream, at least in this part of the world where I'm at.
Yeah, just
Um,
finished lunch over here.
I know. You guys are almost like a day ahead of us, or half a day ahead of us.
Yeah.
I know official is in Europe, right? Official.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I was about to go to bed and I saw you going live. It's 7 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. So Diego, what did you thought? What did you think about the fight Saturday night?
I I don't know, man. I thought it was a good fight. What do you call this? Billy Joe Saunders made it a bit interesting for me.
Okay.
Yeah, he was doing pretty well, but then yeah, he just kept making the same mistakes, and then he got caught.
Yeah.
Funny thing about the Algeria fight, I remember, uh, the Asian girls, the Chinese girls were 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 in love with him. Even the Filipino girls, they were saying that Pacquiao shouldn't beat him up because he's handsome. I think that
Without
pissed
jury,
off
right?
Pacquiao. Yeah, that pissed off Manny, man.
Don't beat up his pretty face.
Yeah.
I might
Well,
want to marry that guy one day.
yeah. And Pacquiao didn't like that. Pacquiao, he's a proud guy. And
Yeah.
then when he heard that, You can see in his face that he wasn't happy.
I hear that. Yeah. Canelo, I mean, excuse me, Pacquiao's like, wait a second, I'm the star here. The fuck's going on?
I, I can remember their press conferences back in the day before the fight, where Algeria was acting all smuggy and shit like that. And I saw Pacquiao, sizing him up. He didn't like him.
Yeah. You you could have stopped that fight at one point, man. They should have. Like, what he dropped him 6 times? Some shit like that.
But
One
to be fair
scorecard
to
was like 120 to 102. A fucking basketball game.
Freddie Roach played a lot of mind games on Algeria.
Yeah.
Remember that? He would sit in the lobby and he knew when Algeria went in his room, which was pretty late. And then I think they played with his scales in his room because he came in overweight. Remember, he had to take a dump to make the weight.
Yeah,
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this stuff happens in boxing, or at least you heard it. You've heard like rumors about shit like this happening. It irks me when it's like not my guy, not Canelo, or not this guy, Floyd or Pacquiao. No, these guys, man. Sometimes it's just like, let's be sure, right? There's a lot of money on the line. Let's be 100% sure, or as close to it that we can get this guy. Uh, you know, we can get an advantage on him in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I was talking to this Filipino, what do you call this, a promoter, and he said when they used to go to Mexico, the Mexican promoters used to send them, prostitutes, and then would convince them to drink, you know,
Right.
soften them up
That
before the
makes
fight.
that makes sense.
They
Yeah.
would send prostitutes for the whole team. Imagine that.
Hey, by the way, Diego, do you remember also for the Algeria fight, while both camps were in preparation, Freddie Roach had to kick out of gym because he used to have open workouts with Pacquiao, so he kicked two girls from the gym because he said no filming was allowed, and apparently Algeria sent two girls to spy Pacquiao camp.
I don't remember that.
I do remember.
Like
Yeah, there's a
Chinese
lot of that
girls?
shit going. At least, hey, before we continue, what's up, Viking?
Hey,
Hello,
hey,
hello.
man, what's going on?
Not much, brother. Thank you for joining the show, man.
Yeah, I'm listening. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, man. We're
Hello.
talking about well, basically, we were talking about the fight, Saturday night. Basically, your thoughts of the fight. Do you believe Canelo is the face of boxing, or
Yeah,
did that
man,
even?
I just got in like, I, I, I was there. It was like pretty amazing. It
Oh,
was
you
like,
was the guy that sent the picture, right, in Cowboy Stadium?
yeah. I
Yeah,
seen the
dude,
picture.
that's what's up, man. That was a great
It was
shot.
crazy.
I've been
It
to
was,
that stadium before, by the way.
dude, I've never been to like another stadium. I'm from New York. I've never been to another
Yeah, me
stadium.
too, brother. I'm from New
I've never
York.
been to a stadium like that. Like the screen was so big. It was like the
Yes.
size of another small stadium.
By the way, we're talking about obviously where Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. It was in Cowboy Stadium. It can hold, I think, over 100,000 seats. The stadium is fucking amazing. But go ahead, Viking.
Yeah, it was just crazy. It was like nobody was wearing masks.
Love it, man. I love it.
It was like it was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I,
mean
I
the sounds like when they were booing Saunders, like it's I don't know. It's just like I think watching live because there's no commentary. You don't hear any of the commentary. You're just like with the
yeah.
crowd, so it's just kind of like sometimes it's like you're just wondering what is going on TV, because in the commentating, like sometimes they keep you up to like what's happening. So sometimes you don't know when Canelo like started raising his hand, when we were like still waiting for Canelo to kind of like warm up and get this guy out of there. We were just like confused for a little bit, and then because nobody told us like it stopped or anything. Canelo just started celebrating, so that was just kind of like a weird thing. But like otherwise, it was great.
Well, Canelo knew he broke his cheekbone. That's what he said right after the. Remember when he kept so he kept raising his hand up to tell the crowd to get in it.
Right.
That was right after the uppercut that allegedly shattered his eye. I have no reason to say that it's not true until somebody can prove otherwise. So I'm going to say he did. Canelo was putting his hands up, and then post fight in the ring, they asked him about what he thought about Billy Joe Saunders, the fight, whatever. Was he ever in trouble? And the point of the finish, he said, I knew he wasn't going to come back out because I broke his I broke his eye socket. Is what he said.
I think he heard it.
Yeah.
Like when you like hear like, because he apparently like his like the tip of his like like right above his cheekbone on the other side, like you could see like a little dent like coming out because his jawline is shaped that way, but the other side where he got hit, like it just got completely caved in. So I think like
It looked
apparently
weird. I will say that it did fucking look weird, and you could see the immediate reaction in
right.
in what's his name, Saunders.
Yeah, because like if it's true what they're saying, like it broken, like it's quadrupod fracture, so it broke in 4 places. So they have to put metal plates, because when your eye sockets get like broken, like it fractures, then they have to like put almost like big metals staples to kind of like put it together, because
Right.
those bones. So it's like if that's the case, then it's just very tough for him to continue like from here on.
What if Saunders had won the Mestizo belt?
that would be
I
hilarious.
mean, I mean, Canelo. You could say the same thing about Canelo, bro. Canelo won the Mestizo belt.
No, but then how much like how much like shit talking Billy Joe would do. He's slick with his words. He's gonna say all types of shit in there.
Yeah.
Mauricio Suleiman would be so confused putting that belt on Billy Joe Saunders.
So, sorry, Canelo. I have to give it to another white guy, Mestizo belt. So, I'm sorry about it. I have to take it off.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Hey, what? So you were at the stadium, Viking.
Yeah.
So did you hear that? I don't know how true this is, but I was like hearing a bunch of shit. I haven't seen it. This video of it of Billy Joe Saunders' dad got beat up by security.
Oh yeah, man. I saw the video. It was crazy. That dude was overreacting like crazy, man. Because you know what it is, like after the bell rings and then the fight is over, like certain people are allowed to go to the ring, like even like Jake Paul's fucking friends were up in there in the last Canelo fight. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to, if you're supposed to ask him like who are you and stuff like that. The security guy, the way that he pushed him and like pressed him down and started like pounding on him, it was just excessive, man. It was
Yeah, I
just
feel like
because if my son is dying in the ring and he's got like his face caved in and he's got like a life threatening kind of injury with it, which is what it looked like because they stopped it right away. I mean, you know how it would make me feel like if some big security dudes just like pummeled me to the ground and dragged me around. That would be crazy, man.
but this is what I mean when it comes to Canelo, right? Like, it's dangerous fighting this dude. Like, your family members could get beat up, and I'm
That's
not
also
just.
true. That's also true. Because you know what Canelo be saying to these people, like, I don't want to see no fucking kind of fuck up. You know what I mean? It's me and only me. That's it. Like, it was I'm not gonna lie, it was like a trip to Mexico. Because like I finally got to see with my eyes, like firsthand, like why Floyd and all these people be wearing like Mexican flags and like Mexican t-shirts and coming out in sombrero. It was 99% Mexican dudes, like in boots, cowboy hats, flags. I went to the stadium at like 4 o'clock because all of the people around me, because they were saying like, well, even if you're like, because I left my Airbnb and I was like, then people are saying like it's gonna be crazy by the time it's fight time. If you try to go in there at 9 o'clock, the Uber is gonna be crazy. It'll take you 3 hours just to get there. So I was like, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead early, and then I'm just gonna like stick around some bar around there, and then when I get a little fucked up or buzzed, I'm gonna head towards the stadium. But then I walked to the stadium just to see if they'll let me early in there, and then like what kind of setups they got. Like if there's like multiple bars inside the stadium, then I'm just gonna spend this time in the stadium, and then all through the parking lot, Mexican dudes hanging out, barbecuing, fucking all kinds of meat. Like they got a whole setup. They got cans and cans of beers. Dudes are out there selling shirts, like T-shirts. I'm telling you, like kids, children, like young, like women, families, older men. They were all out there with their trucks, with their flags, like just cooking, drinking beer. It was like a whole thing. It was like a whole thing,
And that must have been a sight.
dude. It was crazy. Like I've never seen that many people in one place, and I've never seen that many Mexican people in one place.
Yo,
Fucking
why
70,000 people. Good.
73,000 people. The last time there was this many people apparently was 42 years ago when Ali fought Spinks or somebody.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, Viking, it's very crazy what you said about barbecuing because I was listening recently to some other boxing podcast, and a guy who's the owner of the podcast, he said the same thing. He went to a Canelo fight, and there were people in the in the parking lot barbecuing. Man,
Yeah, it was crazy. Even the police, like Texas police, they got those cowboy hats. They're like huge. Like they were just walking around. They couldn't do anything. They were just like, okay.
Were
They
there
were like,
British people there?
I didn't see one British person because I feel like I don't know if they were hiding or they only got tickets to the front row. I feel like it was only Tyson Fury and a few of his like friends or whatever. But I saw one British flag down there, but I didn't really like see anybody British in my row or anybody behind me. I went all the way to the top. My seats were like not that far away, but like I was looking around, I didn't see any British flag.
Yeah, I noticed. Obviously, I was watching it on TV like mostly everybody except you, Viking. But I was like, man, the British crowds usually show up, and I'm like, I don't think they'll be able to pull this off in Texas, though. Texas is a different ball game, man. When I didn't go there for a boxing fight. Obviously, I went there for a football game. I'm a Cowboy fan. They were playing the fucking Giants, and the Giants beat them. Weird scenario, right? A New York guy, for the Cowboys against a New York team. But anyway,
right.
But yeah, like the Mexicans, not just the Mexicans, the whites, the blacks, they were all outside barbecuing, like just having a good time. And that fucking place is intimidating, bro. It's so big. At least for the first time. Yeah, it's intimidating. It's like, holy shit, look at all these people here. Yeah. And the thing about that stadium is that you'll notice, when you're in a stadium, whether it's a baseball stadium, a football stadium, right? Right. Sometimes you don't feel like it's a lot of people because it's well spread out, right? Right. So it's like, I'm just hanging out with like about a few 20 people or whatever. No, when you're in that stadium, you know that you're there with like a lot of people. The view, because I think you showed me the view where you was at. Yeah. And I know you probably saw that crowd. Like you're probably like, what the fuck?
Dude, I had never seen that many crowd. I looked up, like from my seat all the way. It was like 6 floors up, and I was like, holy shit. And before I went into my seat, I was all the way up there because, like there's like a bar and chairs and like, people hanging out and stuff like that. If you wanted to stay up there and you wanted to stand and watch over the balcony, you could still do that. You don't have to like, whatever ticket you have. But it was just like an overwhelming amount. When they were booing Saunders, it was like, like when he came out, it was deafening, bro. Like I don't know if you could hear it in the TV, but it was just deafening how they were booing it. Like it's just when you're a fighter like Saunders, you're coming out into a ring and 73,000 people boo you at the same time. It must be discouraging on another level, man.
Well, Floyd Mayweather loved it.
That's true.
Yeah. What's up?
Hi guys.
What's up, Durden?
Hey man, what's up?
A little late to the party.
It's okay. We're up late.
But did you see that? Like, did you see that shot that fucking he caught him with? It was crazy, man. Like Saunders kept dipping down, and like Canelo now, it's like what I like about him now is like when when the fighter is kind of tricky, he doesn't make the kind of mistake to just kind of like jump on him or like do it. He'll still put the accurate shots in there when he sees it, but like when he starts missing like shots that he would normally not miss, he'll just take his time. He'll take his time. He'll take his time, and because all he needs now is like one mistake. So when like Saunders got like a little bit overconfident, started throwing his tongue out and stuff like that, and he threw that overhand, like he threw that leading left hook like a dumbass. Canelo like slip righted and then put that uppercut right there. It was over with. Like his whole face went in.
Yeah, that's pretty. And he did that with one shot. One shot. It's not like he was working on that. Working on that eye throughout the whole fight. It was a one shot deal. Pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive.
Do you think Caleb Plant will last like the whole 12 rounds?
I don't
No
know,
way.
bro. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't.
I
Canelo
was gonna
is
say
getting.
something before I got
Right,
cut
Jordan.
off though, but do you think fucking is it Reynoso or is it Canelo? Do you think he would have done what he done if it weren't for Reynoso? Like, is Reynoso the master plan behind like the game plan?
I wouldn't say. Look,
Because a lot of people that watched it that
he
don't like
said it.
casual
He said,
Mexicans
yeah.
were translating Reynoso's, and he just kept telling them, just wait for the uppercut, it's coming. Wait for the uppercut, something like that.
Yeah, and Saunders made it easy for him. I mean, he kept dipping so horribly low. I'm like, dude.
You saw that,
But
right?
he
Jesus,
was
man.
dodging.
First of all,
But he was
illegally low too. Illegally low.
right. But
Right. Like, why are you going that low? And it's like, why are you doing that over and over? That's stupid, man. Like, you're giving him a place to time, and you're giving him that low because
Was he
when you
that nervous? Was he that nervous? He was fucking losing the plot. You know what I'm saying?
he was kind. It was kind of work. It works for him though. Like when Canelo goes high, that does work for him. But Canelo made that adjustment. Like he can swing low too. Probably even better, like from the hip. I think
Wait.
Canelo.
It was kind of like vicious how Canelo kept attacking him in the face, though. Because after he caught him with that punch, oh my God, Canelo just kept looking for that uppercut, like kept trying to,
He
it was
went
just
for the
kind of,
kill in that 8th round, dude.
yeah, like he just knew that like Billy Joe was hurt on some, like, you know what I mean? Like he needs to get out of there kind of
Which
stuff.
kind of shows Canelo's a little bit of a bitch when he's worried. Because I think the 2 rounds before that, he was starting to look a little scared. Like, I'm getting tired. This guy's making me work a little bit. He was kind of like Billy Joe, little by little, was starting to control the middle of the ring a little bit. Like, I think Canelo was getting a little winded, and he wanted to kind of use the outside. But the 8th round, he landed that thing. And I think, obviously he got a boost of confidence once he landed that. But I think if it would have kept going, it might have been a good fight, man. It was developing into one, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone either way because it would have gone all the way because like the intentions that Canelo was throwing with is like, like it's one thing to like fight like a very slick fight, but like it's one thing to like know that somebody's gonna hurt you at any moment and to keep that kind of aggression and like like that kind of like focus all the way through because even with the Kovalev fight, Kovalev was doing really good, like putting that jab in Canelo's face. Like Canelo was having such a hard time coming in, but like all you need to do is like take that 1 second of breath just to be like, and then Canelo catches you, boom.
Well, the other question is how does a little man have so much power? That's what a lot, even Mexicans wonder. Like how does he hit that hard? It's not even possible because he's like small,
Well, he's definitely a lot stronger now, right? He seems like whatever kind of training methods he's doing, I would just say it's working. No, but it's not even a knock towards him. At least for me, no. Dude, whatever he's doing, I want to know. I would love to do it. I'm being honest.
And why is that such a secret in pro sports?
Yeah, it's like
these athletes do to get in shape. Like
that.
I mean, you know what it is though? I think if they share this stuff with us, the average Joes like us will like be like, shit, all right, I got money, I got a little bit of money.
Yeah,
I'll buy some shit. I can get in shape, turning myself into a weapon. You know what I mean? But then like now like how they always say that taxi drivers, right? Oh, we beat a taxi driver. Now the taxi drivers are on the same shit you're on. You know, like, maybe we can fight
Yeah,
too.
but it's like you can't really knock the hustle. This dude is living in the gym. Like he apparently like just he was saying like I was looking at one of those training videos because now there's like so many training videos because he's in the gym every day. He allows any reporter to come in there. He was saying like he just plays golf, goes to the gym, and goes sees his family. That's like his three things. Because he's saying like whenever a fighter or any athlete that says, "Oh, I'm on top," and I can do whatever the fuck I want, that's when they go all the way down. So he's not trying to be one of those guys, you know. Plus, he's like a country boy. Country boys are a little bit like more, you know what I mean? Like they stay on whatever works.
He's kind of a nerd.
Oh yeah,
He,
for
It,
sure.
it works for him
Jordan.
though, you know.
Yeah, it does. He is kind of a nerd. I can tell. Well, especially probably you, Jordan, right? Like you lived in California. You could pick up on accents. He speaks.
He
If
would
you didn't
get
know him,
bullied hard if he went to an American high school.
yeah,
that
that's what
accent.
I was thinking.
Even by the other Mexicans. The other
By
Mexicans
other
would clown him.
Mexicans, especially. Yeah.
I
They
wonder what
probably
his
even hate on him
accent
because
sound
he's
like.
white. You know what I mean? They'd be like, "Fuck this white boy, dude, thinking he's Mexican. Fucking laugh at this motherfucker." You know?
What's like anybody that's speaking Spanish? Like, what does he sound like in Spanish? I want to know. Like, 'cause it sounds a little bit different from what I hear. Like my friends in
Kind of,
New York talking Spanish. You know.
kind of like a guy
He
who
still has that
comes.
little boy voice, right?
Yes, exactly. He kind of has like he speaks very proper Spanish. But it's like you could tell it's a little country, but he still speaks it where it's very clear. At least that's the way I understand it. The accent, the Mexican accent, I can't pick up on it too much whether he's a nerd or not, but it sounds like he's just a nice person.
To me, he seems like someone who, like, he doesn't have Down syndrome, but he kind of has something like that. Like he's got like some autism
He's
or
a
something.
redhead.
Like he's got Asperger's or something weird. Like he's just like socially awkward. You know, like it's just something about him that's just kind of weird. Even when he said "Viva Mexico, cabrones," he looked kind of embarrassed to say it, or like he's kind of like, "Oh shit, everyone's looking at me." Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he almost cried. They asked him like he got emotional. Like they were asking him about like how they feel. Like
I feel so good to have so many people.
Yeah,
I was telling that to the MXBC that when they were doing the after the post fight, that when they were giving him all the belts, he looked like he was gonna cry holding all the belts.
Did you see like he couldn't fit the belts? He had to readjust so many times, and then until Mauricio Suleiman was like, "No, just let me just hold the belts," because they put all the 4 belts on him, and then they try to put the mestizo belt on the
whatever the fuck that is.
It means nothing.
I think
real
it's
quick,
just
I want to say, we got the Fight Scout. What's up, Fight Scout? I hope this is the real Fight Scout too. Hello.
Probably is. Maybe he's a little.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
What's up?
Perfect.
That is the
Oh,
real
all
Fight
right.
Scout.
I have no
confirmed.
idea how this thing even
Voice
works.
verified. Clearance confirmed.
Clearance confirmed. What's up, Fight Scout, man? What did you think about the wonderful fight on Saturday night?
Thought it was fake, man.
Oh,
I mean, how many punches were even thrown throughout the entire fight? I mean, they showed the punch stats at the end, but I don't think they were even close to being correct. It must have been something like
We were
20
talking
punches
about that
around from each
earlier.
guy.
I was talking about that earlier. He doesn't throw nearly
no.
as many punches as he used to south of the south of super middleweight when he was at 154, 160 or the catchweight or whatever. I felt like he threw a lot more punches.
I think he threw like maybe 5 punches around is what it looked like. It was terrible. It was almost like Adrian Broner, right? The only comparison I can think of was Adrian Broner.
It's also he was getting
bad.
countered, like he was getting countered clean by Billy Joe. So it's like he was trying to like kind of like compose like himself, like trying not to get countered.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought Billy Joe just took a dive, but it wasn't just me. It was I was sitting there with 5 people, and one of the guys doesn't watch boxing, and he thought it was just fake too, like WWE stuff. So
you don't understand. That's how good Canelo is. He makes it look like that.
no, like this guy hasn't watched boxing in like probably.
Nah, you can't fake a life-threatening injury. I think BJ is.
He got a black eye, but who knows if he actually broke
Well, I
his
mean,
eye socket, right?
let's put some comparison into it. Like, go back to the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Did Pacquiao lay off because it was Floyd, big money? You know, they had like a backup excuse for him not being his usual self or something. Or like
I mean, yeah, but the
some people
doctor
think
did
Triple
come
G
out
threw the
and
second fight against
no, he
Canelo.
didn't throw the second fight. So
You don't think
second
so?
the second Triple G fight was one of the best fights, I think.
Do you think he laid off him a little bit?
in the second one,
Yeah.
no, definitely
Some people
not.
believe that though. You know, I
He
mean,
pumped the
I'm not
jab all
saying
night.
No, that was a
it
chess match.
wasn't. He didn't really go for knockouts like he did in his first fight.
No, he
though,
pumped
right?
the jab all night. It was the same game plan as he did with David Lemieux, right?
Did you guys
Mhm.
see the post-fight press conference where he would like where he just embarrassed the shit out of fucking Andrade?
Yeah, and his
Yeah,
dad.
but he might just be ducking that fight too, right?
I
Especially
don't
if
know.
You don't need to
Andrade is
fight on
gonna.
Andre. I
I don't
mean,
know.
who's Andre
Andrade
fought?
is
Honestly,
fucking every fighter that Andrade has fought. I think the last 8 fighters has had like a loss or like like a
I
series of losses.
seriously, I believe that Sulecki, the Polish guy, gave him a really close fight, and
He did.
I don't know.
Early, I know what you're talking about, Dirty. Early, it looked like, the first half of the fight, it looked like Andre was in cruise control. The second half, yeah, he started to. He looks like he loses the plot, bro. He just, he can't.
He
He
just
can't
likes to
box.
dance around. He's not
Yeah.
really boxing. He's like
Well, that's a sign
he's
that you
doing his
can't box.
feet. He's using his feet more than his hands.
When a guy starts dancing around, he really ran out of ideas. That's basically what he's doing, or holding, or whatever. Yeah.
Some guys just lose focus halfway, they like Jab Judah, like Jab Judah used to be like fucking fire the first 7-8 rounds, and after that he'd like lose stamina and then he wouldn't give a shit and he would just start getting battered.
Yep.
Good point.
I feel like Zab
yeah,
Judah. I feel
I
like
meant
Zab
Jab,
Judah was
like,
just fighting for money, though, right?
He was.
he
Like he
he's just
wasn't
like,
trying to win anymore after he beat
I don't want to compare
Spinks.
I don't want to compare Jab to like Adrian Boner, but it's just like he's just one of those dudes that Jab's just like so gifted, you know what I mean?
He
Like
was like
everything.
Adrian Broner, and I'm gonna tell you why. Damn, that sounded scary, like fucking BDA's intro. Holy shit! And I'm gonna tell you why. Anyway, when he was in I want to say when he first came into boxing, I think I want to say 96, 97. He started hanging out all throughout New York City. It was well known. Everybody, if you was a guy who was going clubbing around that time, you'll bump into him. Especially like the hot clubs, right? The ones where like all the celebs and the fucking ballers or whatever they go to, you would see him. So in a way, he was like that, and he has a lot, dude. He has a lot of kids from different women too. It's just that he didn't grow up in the social media era, right? So, but he's a lot like, now he's not a, how can I say this? Adrian Broner is a fucking clown, right? Like
Yeah, that's what I was
Zab
gonna
is more
say.
of a serious guy.
And he's
Even
more
if
like
you
a
think-
Brooklyn guy. He's a little bit more
Yeah.
smooth and like he could talk to anybody.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. He's more serious, but like in terms of being like a clown, dude, he used to get into fights all the time. It's just that video cameras weren't out back then, where you could just pull out your phone and just like, oh shit, look, Zab Judah's fighting. He was getting into fights, dude. He was like,
Damn, I recognize like the boxing history from a little bit further back, right? Because you were around at that time, like
yeah. I was a young man in my probably my mid to late 20s, so I knew, I bumped into Zab Judah plenty of times. I actually know who he is,
That's crazy. Because I saw him outside the Brooklyn gym here in Bed-Stuy. He was just hanging outside the boxing gym, and I was like, "Yo, Jab, I love your shit, man. You're like."
He grew up training there too. He grew up training in that Bed-Stuy gym, and
he's like, "Oh, word, take a picture." And then he gave one of the dudes like my. I mean, I didn't really want a picture, but then again, he already said that. He was like, all right. And then I was like, just take a picture. He was just hella cool.
That gym was crazy, bro. Back in the day, I don't know what it's like now.
Yeah, Jab is just like man. I told him like that was the second time I'd seen him once before, but then it was at a restaurant in Meatpacking. At that time, I was like kind of fanned out proper, but then he didn't remember him from then. But at that time, like he was with the girl, but I still shook his hand. I didn't give a shit because I was just like so excited to see him. But I told him like and he almost had Floyd, and then he had the biggest smile in his face, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I almost had that motherfucker," and then he was laughing.
That's how I kind of see Andrade. Like maybe not as powerful, right? At least pound for pound. He's one of those guys that look at his last fight. Like he has a total average fighter, very average, just nothing special about him. So he's supposed to be this great guy. Okay, he starts off great. He's like, with fast reflex. He's attributing it to his boxing skills, and he catches him with some good shots, and he drops him. But if you really look at that fight, every single round, just about, he was getting outworked. And some people are like, what do you mean by that? He won the fight. Like, dude, I'm talking about the action, the pace of the action. Who's controlling the pace? It's the other guy. Granted, I don't care. They gave the fight to Andrade, and he deserves it. That's fine. But if in terms of being like the question is outworking your opponent, right? So when all fails, you guys are so good that you guys are in a stalemate. You have to do something else. He's not going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
He's not going to be able to do that. He's going to get tired. I think Charlo would knock him out. I think Charlo would knock him out.
Yeah,
you mean
reckon.
Jamal? You mean Jamal Charlo?
Jamal, excuse me, or the other one, the one at 154. I think he'll knock him out too. He'll eventually get to it.
You mentioned a very good point earlier, Recognize. He at one point, after a few rounds, he looks like he has no ideas, and that's so true because he's been doing the same things all over, So that's why Smith was able to kind of to get better in the second half of the fight, because motherfucker was doing 2 or 3 same things all over and over. And plus, on top of that, another reason that I would say he looks good at the initial first rounds, and then his performance drops, is because he kind of preserves his stamina, because he's a huge guy, man. And so he needs to preserve his energy, man. And you see him getting tired, having problem with stamina.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like he gasses out after the third round.
Yes.
He cuts way too much weight. Like
That
he
could be
was
it, too.
standing next to Jacobs and Caleb Plant, and he looked bigger by like 20 pounds.
Yeah, he's a big fucking dude.
Yeah, when I see him after, like, in post fight, because he's in every fight, he looks big, man.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's probably naturally a super middleweight. He probably, look, he's cutting. Let's say if he's cutting an extra 8, right? So we're assuming that when he's not fighting, and here's the thing: when I say this, his weight could be like 180, 185. That's muscles. That's not like fat.
Yeah.
What you're
Probably
just
heavier than that.
Yeah.
That's true. He looks ripped.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, man. Like if nobody really, like, if Andrade doesn't really like fight, and then takes the fight and whatever, like, does whatever he needs to do to get these fights, or gets these fights, then it's just gonna be such a wasted career, because nobody really, like, I don't know, because boxing fans, all you need is an excuse to write you off, and he's given people so many excuses, Because Charlo, I think Charlo, I think, like I agree with you what you said. I think Charlo would knock him out, though, because Charlo is so accurate, so accurate.
Look, he could be outboxed. Charlo could be outboxed. He could be beaten. But if you ask me to trust either one of these guys, to like just go in there and have a better game plan, better condition, well, maybe not condition, but at least the better the better game plan, I got to go with Charlo to at least beat him on the scorecards, or if not, stop him late. This is a great comment right here. The real issue with Canelo is these huge boxers are allowing Canelo to close the distance with slow level plotting. These guys are not going back to the center of the... Yes, that's true.
It's rigged, man, because they're allowing him to do that, right?
Okay, listen.
It's in the contract, man. They can't win. I think Billy Joe Saunders' odds were like 1-8 or something like that, right? So when historically for boxing, being like a 1-7 underdog or whatever you call it, right? A 7-1 underdog. it usually means that you're not gonna win no matter what, right? So when Billy Joe is 1-8, it's kind of like I was just laughing the whole time, right? So I think they were even talking about having the contracts negotiated for Caleb Plant even before he fought that last guy from wherever he was from,
Oh yeah,
the Middle Eastern guy.
Schwegenbusch from
Truex.
Germany.
He's from Germany, but like
No, sorry, my bad. Because he fought Fegenbutz from Germany and then Truex.
Truex. Yep, Truex.
Oh no, I was talking about Canelo, right? So
Faggot
when the
boots.
Canelo was,
Oh, Yildirim. He's talking
yeah,
about Yildirim.
they were talking about the Plant fight even before he fought Yildirim, right? And people didn't even understand that he had Billy Joe Saunders lined up right after Yildirim. So what was happening was he was already signing a fight like 2 fights ahead.
Yildirim's like, you need me get knocked out, I go. What you need? I need money, feed my kids. Come on.
This dude had a whole parade in Turkey. It was just the most hilarious thing. I was like, why are you doing that? You know this dude is gonna get knocked out. Why are you doing that? Like,
Not even he quit, right? Didn't he quit in the stool or something like that?
So he's got 2 no mas.
Is
right?
Canelo trying to fucking one up Lomachenko? What's going on here?
I'm telling you,
Just
bro.
thought about that now. What is going on?
He's trying to do the no mas. He's gonna break the no mas.
This guy's copying Mayweather. He's copying fucking Loma. He's copying everybody, dude.
Listen,
This guy,
and Fight
guy's a
Scout.
plagiarist.
Fight Scout. I'm gonna ask you if you heard this, or if you, or any of you guys. He said he will park Golovkin. Right going into the Yildirim fight, he said, "I will park Golovkin."
What does he mean by
If
park?
Golovkin, if
means I'm
Golovkin
gonna
is
stop him. I'm gonna stop him.
And he might, dude, because Triple G's getting older.
I don't know, man.
And
You guys understand that in the
Canelo's
hold on, let me
improved
speak.
his state game. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me speak. You know, in the second one, he completely solved Canelo, right?
I think he
And-
did for sure.
No, I mean
And-
it's safe to say that if you want to give it to Canelo the second fight, I don't care. But the first fight was definitely Triple G's.
No, Triple G completely solved the puzzle. And I was at a gym one time, right? Back in like 2013. Okay. And one of the dudes, he was a coach, he was like, throw the left hook and the right uppercut. And I said to him, what are you talking about? Nobody throws that shot, right? Because when you're talking about throwing the hardest left hook you can, followed by an underhand like right uppercut, it's really hard to do, right? So I said to this guy, like, where are you even seeing this? Okay, where are you even seeing this combination? And the guy's like, oh, that's the Canelo. Right? So I'm like, Canelo, Canelo's a nobody. Again, this is like 2013, right? But even then, he was a star. And when you're talking about his favorite combination, the left hook, right uppercut, even when you go into the Golovkin 2, Golovkin, all he does is he challenges Canelo's right hand by just circling to his right, okay, which is like a basic mistake, but Canelo doesn't throw the jab, right? Golovkin, all he's doing is he's avoiding that left hook, and then he's just keeping his eye on that right, and all he's doing is he's just jabbing him all night until he gets tired. Once he feels Canelo is tired enough, he goes in, and that's when you see him try to bomb him out, right? And it was pretty much almost the exact same game plan he used against David Lemieux, right? But David Lemieux was kind of like a one-trick pony, whereas Canelo, he was just avoiding that left hook, right uppercut.
Yeah,
he
and
was just
even when
jabbing him all
Triple
night.
G executed correctly, Canelo showed that he's got a good chin as well.
yeah, he's got a hell of a chin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a blockhead. He's got a.
Yeah, he's like, he's got no neck.
But you see, this was. But it was. Look, this is my opinion, right? This was all timed out by. It was time in Canelo's proper fashion, right? So you got the first fight. I believe that he felt he might be strong enough to go the distance with Triple G. Now he did go the distance, no doubt. But what he underestimated was he's still not as strong as him. He's not as strong as Golovkin. Second fight, he gets busted, right? So the fight was set up for that Cinco de Mayo of what year was that? 2017, 18, 2018. So it was planned for that Cinco de Mayo. He gets busted, right? And this is just my opinion, all right? I'm not asking anybody to agree with me. I think that was purposely done. This is my opinion, right? I think it was purposely done. Listen, I'm Canelo. Don't worry about it. You know, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna say that it was a mistake. That's all it was. You know, it's a mistake from Mexico, whatever. And then he gets that knee surgery. He goes to Germany to get it. Now, I'm not too familiar with the knee surgery that he got, but all I know is that a baseball player named Alex Rodriguez got it back in 2012. Basically, he got busted because A-Rod got busted because
Because
the
of the
person,
cyst in his knee, right?
yes, he got a cyst in his knee. He had some type of blood transfusion. I don't know what the fuck it was, and then he was taking these synthetic drugs. I don't know what the fuck exactly what it was, but it was basically to build him up, to build up his strength, and he got busted with that analytical evidence that linked to Germany and his surgery. Most importantly, the surgery. And since he never tested positive, right? Because you can't test somebody for that, at least at that time, whatever he was taking. The fact of his conversation through text with a snitch is what got him busted, right?
Them
And
snitches.
it had to do with the surgery. It had to do mainly with the surgery. So I don't know if that's what's going on there with Canelo, but I have a feeling that it does.
Yo,
Yeah,
He
it's like
comes back.
Nazi.
sounds like that damn horse that won the Kentucky Derby. They fucking failed his drug test, bro.
Nazi
Even the
stem cell
horses,
surgery,
even the
man.
horses are on drugs, bro.
Yeah, man. Nazi stem cell surgery. They all went to go do that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, why you gotta bring Nazis into it, Vice Scott? Come on.
Because it's their technology, right? It's their
It's
Trying to promote Nazi technology,
it's
bro.
their experimentations that are just inhumane. The Germans, man.
Aha, inhumane.
The inhumane, like the what do you
Thank
call
God
it?
for NASA.
Satanic experiments.
Okay, after Caleb Plant, what is he gonna do? What's
Caleb
the
Plant is gonna do his he's gonna try to be slick, right? Be a
Nah,
slick guy.
Caleb Plant is
He's gonna be like melted white chocolate up in there. And he's gonna show the world how American white man does it.
I don't know,
You know what I mean?
Durden. This might be white boy summer this year, bro. I don't know. Don't sleep on Caleb
Canelo's
Plant.
never going to lose, bro.
Nah,
It's
no,
impossible.
No, I don't think he's gonna lose either.
Nah, I mean Caleb Plant is just
The bet is how I'm sorry to cut you off, my bad, but I mean the bet is like how Canelo's gonna win. That's the bet. It's not if he's gonna lose. It's how does he win? Does it go 12 rounds? Does he knock him out? What round?
Can I tell you,
Exactly.
Durden? No mas.
Yeah, I think
No
Caleb Plant
mas.
You think he quits, bro?
He's gonna go to his corner.
He can't quit in front of his lady, bro. The face of the PBC.
Yo, she's kind of hot.
His hot mulata.
Yo,
He
she's hot.
can't let her down with her big frizzy hair and her big Jew nose. I mean, excuse me, but her something like that's going on there. I don't know what's going on with that girl, but something's going on there. And he's cashing in, you know.
But he did mention like with his own mouth that he would fight Beterbiev, or that's the fight that he's looking into. That
Beterbiev would knock that fool out. Caleb Plant?
No, he's saying Canelo was saying that.
Canelo and Beterbiev would be good.
Yeah, that dude is tough, man.
I'm looking for PD, man.
Beat it. Like here's the thing you gotta look out for, right? Fight Scott. A lot of these guys, like Billy Joe Saunders, I told all my coworkers, this guy's kind of like on the verge of retirement here. This is gonna be his last big hurrah before he gets out.
Yeah, I think Billy Joe should retire too.
Billy Joe might retire saying, "Oh, I'm injured. I can't fight anymore because Canelo." And it just makes Canelo look better. And you know who else it makes look better? Floyd Mayweather. Because all the fucking Floyd Mayweather faggots. I mean, excuse me, my bad.
You know who else makes it look better? Triple G, because he beat him twice, in my opinion.
Arguably, but you know those casuals in their box wreck, bro.
I know.
No, Triple G said. I mean, Canelo said that he would fight Triple G again if Triple G comes to 168. Right?
Yes, right.
I
That's
would
been
still watch that. I would still watch that.
Triple G's kind of old though.
I don't know. He still got that power and timing. He was never like a high volume
But he has to knock
fighter.
Canelo out to win. You can't beat him on the cards. Like, it just won't happen. You don't beat Canelo on cards. It just won't work. You have to knock him out.
I mean, Triple
Can you knock him
G.
out?
Triple G is like, why does Triple G not fight like fucking Charlo and those dudes, man? Like, he just kind of wasted his whole career, just kind of like set it up to wait for Canelo, man.
He didn't waste his whole career,
He
man.
get
He's
that. He
already
got that
40.
good money. He got that
He's
good
already
money.
40. His career is over, man. He's just cashing out. Whoever wants him, he'll probably take it. But
I hear Pac's gonna fucking retire. Announce his retirement pretty soon.
yeah, he's old too.
They all
There's
looking.
nothing.
I think no. Here's the difference. You see, what makes Triple G still a threat, and this is just all a feeling on my part, is that they know like this dude comes to fucking win. There's like, okay, he's nice. Yes, I've signed this for you. I signed this for you. I signed this for you. No problem. I'm
The
Triple
drama
G.
show.
Drama show, big drama. And then when he
Good
goes
boy,
to the
good
ring,
boy.
he's
He's a
trying to
good boy.
fucking he's trying to beat you. You know, he's trying to beat you. People think like when we say fixed fights, it's like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen. No, it's these dudes are like, man, I don't think I could beat this dude under these circumstances. I'm not really, get a nice
Triple G.
paycheck.
Triple G's one of those guys that wasn't like a huge prospect, but like proved himself. Over
I
time.
feel like Triple G is one of those guys that in his youth he probably has a body somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? They probably put it under the bridge.
Well, dude, Triple G
They
knocked.
probably.
That's what
they
I'm
probably
saying
dug
though.
it.
Is I don't
They probably
think he was
dug a
that
hole
good. I don't think he was
somewhere.
that good growing up. You know what I mean?
Triple
Like I don't.
G had the scariest knockout I've ever seen, and he did it as an amateur. Go look at what he did to Butte. Dude, he iced him with fucking 17-ounce gloves, 16-ounce, with headgear. He knocked him the fuck out. It was insane.
No. That dude's power is not to be.
Butte is
fucked
kind
about.
of a bitch, right?
I mean, come on, bro. The dude was like,
He was
fucking,
found out. Yeah, he was found out.
Triple G is kind of for real, bro. Like, if you fight him and you go into war with him, like like
Right.
you're leaving something in the ring. Like,
It,
you're not
it might
coming
it
out
might be
there,
the alcohol talking, but I'll let Triple G talk me as hard as he fucking can, bro. Let's put some
I mean,
money on it.
that guy knocked out Butte. What was his name? Andrade,
Clutch.
right? Andrade knocked out Butte.
oh, that's right. I keep
Right,
forgetting
so
about
it
the
was like he was
long
found
count.
out.
The long count. You're talking about, right?
Dude, that was like a minute, man.
Talking about the guy that
60
BDA
seconds.
interviewed or whatever it was that one time. The guy that worked
Yeah,
at Jack in the
yeah.
Box or whatever the fuck.
Yep, Libreto Andrade, whatever his name was, right? That
He said he was
Mexican guy.
working at Jack in the Box when he fought that guy. You imagine working at Jack in the Box, you get a call, and you're like, yo, you want to fight for the title?
That's kind of crazy. Yo,
And he technically won, right? You guys are arguing that he won and he got robbed or something?
Nobody said Butte was a bitch. It was just said
Real
he got
quick,
found out, right? He got found
We
out.
got fighter complex on the panel. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fighter Complex?
Was good. Was good, brother. Was good, y'all.
You're a boxing fan or what?
Yeah, I'm an amateur fighter, bro. I fought amateur.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice, man. You from the New York area, right?
Hey, how
Yeah.
come you guys when you speak English, like when you guys say fighter, you say fighter. How come you don't say it with the way
New
it's
York, bro.
spelled?
It's New York. That's the New York slang.
No, but
Fighter.
like we're from California and we're supposed to not know English, right? We're not even really real Americans, technically.
Hey, just
We're
say it like Canelo said. Okay, you're a horrible fighter, man.
The horrible fighter. Horrible.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
You said it like that, yeah.
To be
You're a
honest,
Get the
horrible
fuck out of
fighter.
here.
I don't
Hey,
wanna-
this guy just want payday, man. Horrible
So
fighter.
you're telling me New Yorkers speaks shitty English because it's just a bunch of immigrants that don't know how to fucking speak it and they
Nah,
just meshed into this weird
No,
ass.
it's just, bro. It's just the accent.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, we don't say farther. We say father. Our father.
Or instead of water, we say water. We say
Water.
Yeah, I mean,
What's wrong with you people, bro? What do you call soda?
I mean, what about Texas accent?
What do you call soda?
What about Texas
Soda.
accent?
Soda.
Yo,
Call it
Texas-
soda or do you call it pop? I heard they call it
like,
pop.
okay,
Where you guys
so the
So
No,
dope.
but like, do you guys call
Dope.
it pop? Like when you,
Oh no,
or
pop. No,
Nah.
no, that's Midwest.
is
That's
that like
Midwest.
Midwest or what?
Midwest,
They
yeah.
call
Yeah,
it
that's
pop.
Midwest.
All right.
Yeah, we just call it soda, Coke, whatever.
What's your record, bro?
Amateur.
Amateur. I'm what 8? Like I'm 18 and like 7 or something like that. 18 and 6.
Oh, that's not bad, man. You're winning
Yeah.
those fights. You got
Yeah.
18
How old are
wins.
you? How
Well,
old
I'm
are you?
old, bro. I'm old, bro. I'm
You
28,
still
bro.
amateur fighting, man?
28.
No, bro. I quit. I haven't fought in a year and a half. Like
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Don't
then
feel
my
bad
thing.
because Tarver was an amateur, so like he went to prison though.
Yeah,
That's something
That
that
guy,
you.
Blair
I did
White
too. I know that kind of helped me back.
or Blair Cobbs is like 32 already, right? And he's a prospect. So
I mean, I should. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it now and just turn pro and fuck it and take
But do it to
fights.
win, bro. Do it to
Oh
win.
yeah,
Don't do
nah,
it
of
to.
course, yeah. But it's something that I do want
Big
to.
drama show.
Yeah,
Where you fighting out of? Like, what borough are you?
Hey, don't lie, Fighter Complex. If
What?
Canelo came to you and he gave you like a lot of money, and
Shit.
they were like, bro, don't try knocking him out though. Just let him fuck you up. Would you
Hey,
take
man.
I mean, I think Canelo probably fucked me up right now. I'm out of shape, so regardless, because he's world class.
Well,
But
you need to eat the steaks that he's eating. Is what you
Fuck,
need.
fuck that
I mean,
shit, man.
if he,
Canelo
if,
want to
if,
knock me out for $1 million. I'm going to the ring. Fuck it.
all you
I
gotta
mean,
do is
I
just look
say
out
2
for that left
million. I'm
hook,
gonna
right up
I'm gonna
top.
say I would need a little more than that. I mean, like inflation's going up, price of rent's going up. I mean, with this COVID shit, who knows? Like,
That's
I mean, I
cool.
need a little bit more money than that, man.
Because 1 million, you gotta pay the codes, then you gotta pay this, you gotta pay that, you gotta pay taxes on that shit. You're walking out with like 500 maybe.
Oh,
I
to
don't know,
answer
man.
Fight Film's question, because the X, I don't know if that's like a part of their language, So it's either Mexico
Mexican.
or it's Mexican or something like that.
Mexican.
I think that's the way Chicanos figured it out.
I'm Mexican, Holmes. I'm Mexican.
Fighting complex. You ever been knocked out? You don't have to like lie. It's just
I've been knocked out, but not in a ring.
Not in sparring, yeah. Not clean, but like dazed, and then my coach is like, all right, that's it.
what's
That's
it like?
fine.
Is it your head is spinning, or like you just can't hear anything, or like I always wonder.
No, it's like you realize, oh shit, I'm on the ground, and then you trying to get up, and then you want to keep going, but then your coach is like, nah, it's just sparring.
No, the only thing that's ever happened to me is those liver shots. Those liver shots make me want to quit.
Yeah, I got punched.
And you
in
sparring real good, and you get that liver shot, and you're like, all right, homie, hold up. I need a little more than 10 seconds, dog.
Yeah, I remember using what? It was 10-ounce gloves, bro. We used 10-ounce gloves. We were sparring. This dude hit me with a body shot right, like towards the rib cage by my chest, and that shit put me down. But he's a boxer though, so I was all right with that.
You know what? Like it hurts. It doesn't hurt, to be honest. It's just the sport of boxing. Like you have 10 seconds to keep going, right? But to you, you're like, I'm fine. I'll survive. I just need a little bit more than 10 seconds, dog. But the sport of boxing don't give you more than 10 seconds. You got to get back up and keep going. And that's the thing. Like sometimes you're winded. Don't matter how hard you hit. Sometimes people can nullify that with stamina and shit like
it
that.
all depends on genetics too, right? Like the jawline and everything. Like I think because
Oh, I can take a punch to the face, but the rib shots, though. The rib shots,
bro,
man, they take it out of me.
that's just about fucking conditioning, right? That's
Yeah,
what it comes
because
down
I
to.
guess, but I don't know. No matter what, like the rib shots hurt, man.
Hell
I think
yeah.
it's just about will, right? Because when you take a shot like that, it just feels like your head is gonna explode and you can't
Yes.
breathe.
Yep.
But
That's
I mean,
why I
you can
think,
still
like-
continue.
that's why I think like heart is like whoever you are. It's like I feel like you're either tough in your heart or you're not. Because I don't know, some heavyweights. Like they used to fucking quit on Sue. Like I can't say who for sure, but like Emmanuel Stewart used to talk about that all the time. Like these dudes are like big and tough, but when it comes to like what was that guy Andrew Galata? That dude used to
Oh,
fucking
Galata
quit.
was tough, bro. Yeah, he was a tough dude. He's just a head case.
Yeah.
Head case, bro.
You can tell that some of these boxers have never played any other sport, though, right?
Oh yes, yeah, I know what you mean. Like they
Like
did.
when you play basketball, you take an elbow to the temple, you take it to your liver, right? And that's just
Well,
basketball.
that's
Like,
where Deontay Wilder learned it all from. He's a basketball player, am I right?
Yep.
like it hurts just the same as if you're taking a punch in the boxing ring. It's just
Oh, that's a good segue. What did you guys think of the new Deontay Wilder training video?
Awesome. He looked
I
awesome.
heard he's popping the mitts, bro. He's popping the
I
mitts.
don't know about you guys. I think that's all he. No, I'm being 100% serious. I know this could sound crazy, but that's all he needs. A little movement, pop the jab. When I say movement, head movement. Pop the fucking jab. I think
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
might be
about you
able to
guys.
beat
You know why
Fury.
he
He
didn't win the
might
fight? You
might
know why
beat
he got
Fury
knocked out?
on a lazy night.
You know why he got beat up by Fury? Fury made him stop fighting. And when he doesn't throw his hands, he's easy. He doesn't
He
throw his
has
hands,
no
he's just easy.
defense. He
He
has
has no
no
defense.
defense.
Yeah.
Well, in the first Fury fight, they had, like Fury was fighting all the way from outside. You could put a couch in between them. Like that's how much space they gave him.
Yes.
But well, in the
That
second
was
fight,
Fury's fault. Yep.
in the second fight, Fury came right over. He wasn't giving him no space, and then just he just like was on him the whole
A
time.
lot of people thought Fury was going to use like his feet, and he didn't, dude. He did what Canelo did against Triple G in the second fight.
Yeah, he just
Came
blew up
right.
the
He came
weight.
right in at him.
Yeah, he came right in. Plus, he had that weight. He was leaning on him and stuff like that. So he was waiting. The thing about like Wilder that I didn't like is it's like, in his eyes when he got knocked down, like he just started looking everywhere around. Like he just looks lost. Like I feel like his heart is not like like.
Well, he's not used to being hurt, right? He's never been in those situations
Yeah.
ever in his career.
When you get when you get hurt for the first time like that, but listen, he's been dazed a few times.
Yeah, but he was getting embarrassed on
Yeah, that's the
on a
difference.
huge, like millions of people watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's the thing is like I feel like a lot of like those tough guys that act real tough, but like then somebody tougher like pushes them on the wall and they start getting like quivering and their voice starts baking. I feel like he had like one of those moments, and it's like that's just something made me like, because if you really got the grits, then you're gonna come out like more.
It's because
angry.
Fury's more of a superstar than he is.
And Fury, you know what it is though? I feel Fury, like on a serious note, like he doesn't give a fuck. Like Fury, like
I don't think he does.
yeah, like Fury goes in there, man, and he's like having fun. Like he's
He's
there,
admitted to drinking whiskey the nights before fights.
Who's this? Fury.
Tyson Fury.
That's the kind of shit I don't like, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I just feel like Fury's like.
No, he's
like a true,
toughest.
he's like a true Irishman though.
Right? Yeah, he's
a traveler. Yeah,
he has like a badass mentality. Like
yeah. He's like he's not getting like nobody's getting a mental edge over him. Nobody like not in the ring when he gets knocked down, whatever. Like he's always gonna have the mental.
Yeah,
edge.
he's got that mixture of a smooth character and a fighter at the same time. So yeah, it's hard to get. You gotta do it in the ring. That's how you frustrate them or get under their skin.
Yeah, no doubt, man. He's real cold-blooded. Now the problem is many people are used to seeing him just as a pure boxer who's popping jabs from the outside, etc. But man, he's mean, and the way he was fucking with Wilder's head before the first fight. You can see a clear timeline of what he was doing. When the first fight was signed, he was all buddy and friendly with Wilder, and then just a week before the fight, he switched. He made the 180 complete and started making fun of Wilder, and you could see Wilder.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a good point too. Because when Wilder, like when Fury turns it on in the press conference. He's just doing it for the press conference because but when Wilder gets like on the press conference, he starts getting emotional. He starts saying all kinds of shit, and he's meaning it for real. And then it's just like,
hey, what do you guys think about this comment right here? I think he got wobbled a little bit. I believe that's what happened.
Man, Wilder's gonna get all emotional over everything. It doesn't matter how big the crowd is, right?
It was like some voodoo magic, bro. Some Haitian voodoo magic.
But
when you throw a chicken at somebody, dude, it's like it curses them,
That's so
but
funny.
the same thing, You could
He
you
threw a,
could
he threw a,
clear.
he threw. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there was a video. It was the funniest thing. It was
I
on
gotta
Reddit
see that.
Reddit the other day. Oh my god, they were running. He was chasing him everywhere, and Sander was having the fucking time of his life, just running around. They were like destroying hotel. It was crazy.
That was kind of like what
I was
Wait,
expecting Billy Joe
was it kind of like,
Saunders.
was it like serious or they were having fun?
I think it
At
was.
first, it was serious, and then later on, like they got together and they had a whole video, like we're cool, like whatever, whatever. Like they squashed the beef and whatever. You know,
Oh,
You
because
know what?
Saunders is like, he's like Wilder. So I mean, he's like Fury. He can just talk you out of things.
I
right.
wanted to see Fury show up with his son, socking Canelo in the fucking nuts, while throwing a fucking chicken at that motherfucker. He would have won for sure, dog.
Notice he
No,
was on his best behavior when it came to Canelo.
Yeah,
he said
man, come on,
he
Dude,
dog.
said
Bring
he's
that.
he
he
told
said
What's
he's
up with
real
that?
quick, real
What's
quick.
up with that racism? Why is it when a black guy is fighting Billy Joe Saunders, he gets to have his son sock him in the nuts? What
Yeah,
is that shit
exactly.
about?
I don't
does
know.
Billy hold a lot? I don't really watch his boxing, but
not really, not
Not
really.
that much, and
You
he
know what a
doesn't.
lot of my boxing homies think about Billy Joe Saunders is he fights southpaw, right? But all he's got is that right. He doesn't have a left hand. His left hand's shit. It doesn't do nothing to nobody.
I
Yo,
mean, even when he got the underhooks on Canelo, he was easily like pushing him back across the ring. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's
when
true, man.
when
you
I
guys
was
are
seeing him
talking
watching
about
him
how
fight,
strong Canelo is, I
He
don't
was
believe it.
he was putting Canelo on notice. Though Canelo was like kind of like he wasn't taking him like lightly.
Yeah, there's some things that happen in Canelo fights that sometimes just makes no sense. How these guys are
Like
just backing the fuck up and not
yeah,
doing
like
anything.
how Kovalev in like round 9 or whatever was able to easily just move Canelo backwards, right? When he clinched him, and
Might have
then he
been
just
getting
stopped,
tired.
and then he just
Canelo
stopped.
looked tired as shit in the
yo,
fifth and sixth round. He looked really tired.
I don't know, man. Saunders, man, like he looked like he wasn't. He kind of was like, he looked like he was respecting him. He almost like he was like scared,
He looked like he was sparring him, right?
like
Not in the rounds he was winning though. He was kicking Canelo's ass for like 3 rounds, 2, 3 rounds. Dude.
But you could clearly see from the first round, Canelo was catching him with some huge body shots. Now,
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
commentators were not paying a lot of attention to those body shots, I think, but he was clearly hitting him with
it was
huge body
huge.
shots in the first round. Yeah.
Exactly, and then I give credit to Billy Joe Saunders for that because he didn't show it in his face, like he didn't like react to it because he couldn't
He
like
could
do
take
that.
a punch, actually. Billy was showing that he could take Canelo's power, even though Canelo
Yeah,
wasn't
because
landing clean on his jaw, but he was hitting him on the neck or something. But Billy Joe
yeah,
Saunders would stick his tongue out like, ha, I could take your shit.
no, that's a good point because he was taking some huge, like those body shots that he was taking. Canelo was landing them flush, and he wasn't even like faltering, like he wasn't showing any kind of emotions, which is what he should have done. So he
Because
was
he could
doing
see those punches coming, Viking. That's why. Because Canelo just fucking like he
I
uses
seriously think
all of his body.
Canelo got that lucky punch, man. I mean, you want to call it lucky. I think maybe Reynoso was telling him to look for it, but it was working all night for Billy Joe. I really believe that. I don't really necessarily believe that, like, I know Precise is a respectable person, but he believes that he maybe let him do that on purpose. Maybe that's true, but I think Billy Joe Saunders is dumb enough to just keep doing what he was doing because it was working. And Canelo's like, I got time, bro. Like, I can wait for this. And
Like I said
I'm
earlier,
gonna
hold
wait for
on,
you to duck your head down. I'm gonna hit you.
Durden, like I said earlier, left hook, right uppercut. That's his main thing, right? So if you're Billy Joe and you're saying it's going to be a mental battle, you should know what his bread and butter is. And so, yeah, it looked like he was
Maybe he thought he
stepping
was too
down to
good
get
for
hit.
it. He
I don't think so,
underestimated him
RG,
man.
probably. Billy Joe Saunders
I
probably
think
really
he,
thought like he
I
can
think
take
he
whatever
did
he
put his
had.
head there. I think he
recognize
did
Dr.
put his
Lynn.
head there.
I think Billy Joe thought in his mind that he was too good for Canelo's power, and he thought wrong.
But but you see with that knockout sequence, the whole seventh round, what Billy Joe was doing, he would throw his right hand, his lead hand, and he would duck over his upper body. He would place it over his left side, over his left foot, and he was doing it the whole seventh round. So Canelo clearly had enough of time, to see the pattern. And the fucked up thing about that uppercut, he threw it from his hip, which was very powerful, and at the same time he caught Billy Joe Saunders ducking, leaning into it. So,
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like he was going down, and he was like, he caught the punch even coming down. So it was like the double force, and it's like it completely shattered that punch. I feel like if we had like try to be brave and like on some like okay gangster shit, like I'm gonna come out and fight with like my broken orbital bone. I think Canelo would have turned him into a meme, man. Because he couldn't see out of that eye at all. Like it was closed. The doctor was like trying to split it open, and it still couldn't because like his eye kind of caved in. So
I don't know, man. I saw his eye. I can't. It swelled up really fast, but usually the eye does that, right? When you get a cut or something, it swells up really fast. So who
Hey,
knows
maybe he's like the
if he
next
broke anything or not?
Margarito.
Hard to
Oh
say
shit! I
because
can't fucking invite more than 6 people on this pod. Damn.
Hey,
I got to
hey,
upgrade.
bro, you have to pay for it.
I'll get out. I'll be in the chat room.
you see those eye injuries in like pretty much every other sport
I was
too.
gonna say, bro, if
It's
this
just
shit's
like-
like fixed, like Canelo's fucking getting good at
You
fixing
take an
these
elbow
things
in the eye in
because
basketball.
he's
it's gonna
doing.
look
He's
the
not only
same.
doing it fucking WWF style. He's making it look fucking real.
WWF style. I think
I mean,
WWF.
I feel like I'm watching the WWF. I feel like I really am.
Somebody else watching it with said it was.
I want to believe it's
WWF.
boxing, but it's like WWF.
Like he was walking to that ring, he was not even covered in sweat. He didn't have a care in the world. He didn't even get serious. None of that stuff.
did you see after the fight how he looked like nothing was on him? Like, and his face is pale as shit, and he has no marks.
Dude, and he's
nothing.
getting more arrogant too in the ring. He's getting like real, like he's like fucking when he fought Callum Smith, he's just like la di da di do boom boom. All right, fuck boy.
Dude,
All
he
right,
walked
fuck
in
boy,
that
take
ring
this.
just completely cold. It was crazy. Like he
Yeah,
just
he's like,
had
all
no
right,
care in
fuck
the
boy,
world.
take this.
Yeah, he's just getting like more and more confident. I think it's just a natural weight for him, and he's just like feels so at his prime,
That's why I say this is why I say this, Viking. This is why I say this. Look, I'm not in their heads. I have a feeling what's going on there, but since I can't prove that, then I'm going to have to say, as crazy as it sounds, this little short guy is stronger than all these dudes by a mile, by a good mile.
Yeah, when you try to explain it logically, it makes
Yeah,
zero
that's
sense.
the only way I
right?
can explain it. If I can't prove 100%, right? So everybody's like, look, don't tell me the fight's fixed because you can't prove it. Fine. I'm going to stay away from that now, right? I'm going to do what you tell me. Believe it or not, this little short 5'7" guy fighting dudes 6'2", 6'1", naturally much bigger than him. I want this to sink in. He's much stronger than them to the point that they don't even want to throw punches. They're like, like he's Mike Tyson.
Dude, Callum Smith had 7-inch like reach advantage on him. Like, how is this guy, this midget, like reaching over this dude's face and just like landing shots everywhere? It's crazy.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to eliminate one person because my boy hasn't been on.
Use your discretion, bro.
No. You could kick me out, bro. It's been great talking to you guys. I was just about to go to sleep anyway. I just wanted to see what was going on in the boxing world. You guys have
all right, Viking.
All right, peace.
Yeah,
all
you have
right,
a good
peace,
one,
man.
Viking.
Peace.
But again, when you try to explain it logically, it makes zero sense. It's crazy when you talk about Canelo.
Stop using logic. Logic is racist.
Oh, I thought you was Canelo. Damn, I didn't mean to drop off Viking for
I just want to send a shout out to the Viking for conceding a spot. I really appreciate it. But
I mean, Canelo is like he do got, when you look at his body frame, he is like a stocky, wide. He look like a farmer boy, man.
Looks like Marky Mark. That's what he looks like.
Right.
Yeah. Looks like Marky Mark.
But that's not a boxer type. Like no. I know those guys. Those guys could be successful too, but it's not really like a boxer type body. He's more like a football player, man. Small, but recognize. When you're saying like, well, you can't prove it. Yeah, but
I don't have the confession letter. Is what I mean.
Yeah, but my question is, well, how do you prove it was real? Let's be fair, right? The people that are saying to you that you should prove it, well, can they prove that the fight is real? I think there's a lot more evidence that it's fake than that it's real. Let's, if we are gonna keep it real, you know what I mean? Can they prove it?
The logic is this, right? This is not mine, but most people. Is that, well, why would someone do that? Why would somebody sign up for a knockout? Let's say the Kovalev thing, right? Now,
Yeah.
Fighter Complex, you are you said that you an amateur boxer. Can I ask
Yes.
you a question?
Yes.
If you fought somebody your size,
Mm-hmm.
and he's an experienced boxer, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
experienced too, like you. You guys are on the same level. If you fought him at one gear and he's gonna fight you to try to knock you out. In one gear, I mean jab, that little tap jab when you're fighting somebody who's you're trying to maybe teach, you're a little bit too big for him. What's more likely going to happen to you if he keeps trying to knock you out and you only stay in that one gear? What's going to happen to you?
I'm probably gonna get knocked out or hurt or get beat.
That's what I saw in the Kovalev fight. That's exactly what I saw. In a certain instance, he turned up the pace to say, look, I got to make this kind of look real and let you know that if I really wanted to fuck you, maybe there's some pride kicked in. Like, if I wanted to fuck you up, this is what I could do.
Yeah, he got pissed off when Canelo was beating him up. I was like, wait, hold on a minute. You're not good. You're not as good as me. Like, what the fuck?
Like,
Let me
like
put you back in your place.
I'll
like
put
a
you
big
back in your
brother.
place, little man. Like, you better calm the fuck down. You're my little bro. I'm doing this because, I need some money. That's what I saw in the fight. But because I don't have a confession, or I almost did, almost basically everybody who believes this theory saw that Kovalev went on his Instagram and basically said, to his fans, if you guys bet on me, you're an idiot. If you betted on me to win that fight, you're an idiot.
He's gonna write a book one day and tell all, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be like blatant, but he'll basically admit to taking a dive once he writes his book. That's what I heard in one interview. He's like, my history in boxing is very interesting, and I want to write a book about it one day. And I think he'll tell all in there. And insofar as like the knockout, no one. I mean, I understand some people are saying he let himself be knocked out or whatever, but that's really just a strawman argument because look, if you're Sergey and you're at 100%, Canelo got no chance. Okay, you're at 90%, Canelo wins 2 rounds. You're at you keep going, you keep limiting yourself. You drop down to 50%, he knocks you out. You don't got to do anything else except just fight at 50%, like you were saying, and he'll just knock you out. Period. Eventually.
Okay, so I know what recognized meant now. Like, let's say there's been times when my coach put me with someone, right, and I know the guy's green, and my coach would tell me, yo, hey, be a little tough on him, but take it easy because he's green.
Yeah.
So when I hop in there, like Recognize said, like I go in there, on the first gear, and then the kid, he's going all out. But it'll get to a point where the motherfucker's actually catching you, and he probably caught you with some good shit, and then everybody in the gym is like, oh, and you're like, oh, nah, I'm letting this motherfucker get away with too much now.
Right, and you kind of put him in his place. You kind of like let him know, hey, listen, calm the fuck down. Like that kind
of and at that point now, it's a fight now because you're like, oh, this motherfucker got a little pop to him. Like if this is not like I'm fighting a little girl, I'm fighting another man. So,
and I felt this is, and that's what I was trying to bring up. Fighter Complex is that if anybody, I'm not saying that you have to spar. It's just common sense though, but especially for dudes that've done it, it's like that's a mistake, right? When you fucking that's anybody could understand. That's a mistake to just tap at a guy who's trying to rip your head off. Right, and then maybe once in a while, that gear kicks in by instinct, and you kind of lace them up, but you pull back, and then you keep doing the same thing. You're basically what? You're just there to get knocked out because you know that already, you yourself. So when I hear people say, "Well, Kovalev was doing that because he was afraid," if he was afraid of what was going to come back, that's bullshit. That's to stop a guy from knocking you out. You fully extend your punches. You try to punch through him like he was doing the yard, and everybody, well, yard's a bomb. Yard was 200, close to fucking 200 pounds on the night of the fight. He had to stab him. He had the stabbing jab to his chest. Boom, boom. Until the guy was in the 4th round telling his corner, don't touch my chest. That's a big difference to what was happening with the Canelo fight. He wasn't throwing jabs like that. He was pity-patting, what I saw, aiming at the glove, not trying to penetrate through the glove. Wasn't doing anything like that. And that's what I saw.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Something that I always remember about Kovalev, he does have a nice jab.
Yes. It's like a stabbing fucking, it feels like it's going through you.
All of the
people
He
out
throws a
in
Viking
talent,
jab.
yeah. He knocked
all of the
down
fighters that throw a good left, a jab right, they all said that Kovalev took a dive because they can tell that the technique was just nothing in comparison to what they do in actual combat.
And anybody who understands basic human psychology, fight or flight, what the fuck was Sergey doing? He wasn't running and he wasn't fighting. So how was he scared? If you're telling me when you're scared, you either fight or you're getting the fuck out of there. He wasn't fighting, nor was he running away. So like people just, I don't. To me, it's real basic. It's real simple. The night that I saw the fight live, I like within 2 or 3 rounds, I was like, okay, I know what the deal is. It's just not that difficult. I don't think so.
And there was a myth that he was going to go down with the body shot, right?
Yes.
There's really no fight where he actually gets hurt with the body shot, right? He gets hit with low blows and he goes down.
Wait. You talking about the Andre Ward?
Andre Ward and the other guy, Costanzo, I forget what his name is.
Do you really think that was a low blow though?
Oh, it's obvious.
For sure.
Obvious.
For sure that was a low blow.
Everyone who doesn't watch boxing, they see it as a low blow too. It's just the fans, right? You got Kellerman persuading the fans
If you're
that it wasn't a low
if
blow.
you're a fan of fucking Andre Ward, then you don't think it was.
But like all of my cousins, they all
Right.
said, "Oh man, that was a dirty low blow," and just all of my friends, "Oh, that was a dirty low blow."
Kellerman doesn't know shit about sports, bro. He's a fucking idiot.
I mean, it's obvious
out of
when
nowhere,
you use
out of
your
nowhere,
actual
Kellerman,
eyes.
out of nowhere, A. Smith and Kellerman are boxing experts out of nowhere, right?
Smith
No,
is
they're not anything experts, not any sport, bro. They suck at
Stephen A.
everything, dude.
Smith. Stephen A. Smith is a ESPN basketball reporter. This guy knows nothing about boxing.
Yeah, but when you're scoring boxing, all you have to do is just see who's talk out loud, who's landing, right? This guy's landing this guy's landing that. So fighter A is landing this, fighter B. So if you're going like BBA, BBBA, you already know who's winning, right? So you don't really have to be an expert. All you have to do is just keep score, basically.
Listen,
you know what to look for, though. You know what a real shot is or not. Like punching behind the head, some people get all happy about it, but it's not a legal shot.
I've argued with some pretty good people that I think that are not. They're pretty good at breaking down boxing, and some of them would they're just. What's so hard to understand that there's many ways to like fucking fix a fight. I'm losing my train of thought, but I'm
many
trying
ways.
to get it back to this.
Any sport,
yeah, any sport you can rig. Look, watch a basketball game. Just watch a basketball game. Here's more important. Watch a baseball game, and to make it even easier for you, go watch the umpire that's behind the plate calling balls and strikes as the game. So he has a certain zone that's a ball or a strike. As the game starts getting later, he's the same fucking umpire. Now he starts calling what used to be a strike, a ball, or what used to be a ball, a strike. So he's either expanding the strike zone or he's slowing down. He's closing in the strike zone, right? So you get the premise there, right? What do you think happens to a guy? That's why you see these batters. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing, ref?" Or the pitcher is like, "Yo, you was not calling that earlier in the game," and they say you can't argue balls and strikes.
There's a lot of ways to cheat, bro.
Hold on, real quick, Durden. What did they do? They kick you out the game for arguing balls.
If you complain,
strikes.
yeah,
that's the rule.
They will, depending on what you say to them. Yeah,
Yeah, like you. Okay, let's say for instance, I say, and you know this because you pitch.
If we go up to him and you say, "You're a
Ref,
fucking idiot, you
open your
stupid fuck."
eyes. When you say open your eyes, what happens?
You'll
No, I mean they
recognize.
might. It depends on the umpire. They might talk to you. I get what you're saying though. But
Yeah, they might.
there's a
I
lot of
don't
ways to
know.
cheat. Like you're saying, a lot of people. There's a scandal today where pitchers are using sticky shit. The whole thing is about getting sticky shit on
So
the ball,
boxing. What I'm saying is
so you can
boxing is
control
no different.
the spin movement on the ball.
So boxing is no really no difference because you can physically alter a fight. You can let a fighter just basically get away with what he,
With certain things, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know you've been watching boxing for, I don't know about the rest of the guys, but you've been watching boxing for a while. Now I don't know how you see it, but for me, it was maybe like 12, 15 years ago when boxing, like robberies just started happening all over the goddamn place. Like
Yeah.
is it just in my head, or did I just wake up to it, or it really didn't seem like people were getting, there were always robberies, but I mean, right now at this point in time, it's like every weekend we get like one or two robberies, basically, right?
It's like every single fight is a robbery now.
Yeah.
right?
It's never been
And
like
the
that.
commentators
So it's
are in
real
there.
quick.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, bro. Like it's a fair statement to say that boxing, insofar as in our lifetimes at least, has never been this corrupt. So why is it so crazy to say that a fight is fixed when all of them are fucking fixed, basically? Like,
And what they basically
Well, why would
doing
it be crazy to say that though? Who's saying it's
Wouldn't you
crazy?
say? Wouldn't you say?
Casuals?
Wouldn't you say boxing is the perfect sport for gambling? In
Yes.
a way,
Yes, absolutely, it is.
perfect
Well,
sport.
no,
for
not
gambling.
actually no, because anyone that gives you advice on gambling and where to gamble on, they never mention boxing matches.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the
They'll
thing,
actually
Durden.
talk about UFC. They'll talk about hockey. They'll talk about basketball games. They'll talk about baseball.
No,
Games.
in terms because
They
they're
never
every day.
recommend you bet on a boxing match because you know what? It's probably fucking all fake. They
Durden,
probably all
because
know it in the bookies
here's the
too.
thing. They're every day in terms of like baseball games. So there's the baseball games, football games, and shit like that. They happen, every week. Where a baseball game happens every day, basketball game happens every day as well. The thing about boxing, what's unique is you set the bar. What you do is you say, okay, and here's where the fix is in. Canelo is a 7-1 favorite versus Kovalev, right? Then fight night that closes down to 4 or 3-1, and then so that means a lot of money came in for Kovalev. Then the house keeps the money because the guy that they had as the favorite ends up winning anyway. That's the trick,
And why is every fucking black guy a broken orbital bone these days? And these guys are like trying to outdo each other. Oh, mine was cracked in 3 places. I have both of them.
Well, you know who started
Did you
all
say
that,
black
right?
guy?
Yeah.
Black guy?
Black
Gee.
eye.
Black eye. Aye,
Yeah,
come on,
black
Durden.
eye.
Keep your
I thought you
racist
said
thoughts
black
out
eye,
of this.
dude. I was like, what?
We know.
Durden, keep your racist thoughts out of this, man. Come on.
Wasn't it Reed the first guy?
No, okay, all right. Okay, in recent history, plenty of guys got their orbital bone broken in a boxing fight. In recent history, this started with who? Who broke a guy's eye that was
Manny
like,
Pacquiao.
well, that's one, but in more recent history, it was Triple G. Look, Triple G wanted to go undisputed. Now
And
everybody
Kell
wants to go
Brook.
undisputed. And he breaks dudes.
You
Yeah.
had
So listen,
Inoue. Inoue broke his eye socket, right? That was last year or something like that.
yes. And I guarantee you, I don't know who Canelo's fighting next, right? But I know it's not going to be like a big threat. Whoever he fights next, he's going to beat that guy by him retiring in his corner. I guarantee you.
You
Okay?
think Caleb Plant will retire in his corner?
Yeah. Whatever. Like he'll probably, maybe he retires as the fight is, the round is still in progress.
I think he gets knocked out, to be honest. I think he gets knocked out.
I don't know, man. His best move is turning his back. So it's like.
So there's
all
trends. Look, in terms of like robberies, I think that what's happening to Precise's point. I think what's happening now is that people have learned from the past. I don't know if you guys picked up on this. Like, there have been some, and then of course, like, cherry picks have gone bad, right? They've gone bad, and even with AJ and Andy Ruiz, because that was a cherry pick. So there's like safeguards for that now, and a lot of that is do with what happens outside of the ring, which is like drug testing, and maybe in some cases it's like, look, we have kind of like an agreement that this is what's going to happen. You're not winning this fight, and I don't rule out possibility. What I won't do is be like, yeah, I know that's definitely happening, but I will bring it up. Like, this guy's fighting the worst fight of his fucking career at the worst time ever. Like, you find this to be coincidental? Like, all these guys are doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
When do we get, like, when it comes to big fights, when do we get like a barn burner, good ass fight? You know what I mean? Back in the day, like, there was all this belts on the line, and fighters were going into that ring and they were fighting each other. Right now, and almost every single time we get a big fight, it's boring.
Or the
Canelo
results.
was real. Yeah. Inoue, Donaire was real. Like, but other than that, when are we getting real good fucking competitive fights?
Or you're getting one-sided fights, right? Like, you're getting Fury versus fucking Wilder in the rematch.
Or you're getting something real.
Who thought Oscar Valdez was going to win?
I did.
Well, no one thought.
I did too. Actually, I bet on him.
But tell me, what's homeboy's name? Beltran. Tell me, no, fuck, what's his name?
Berchelt.
Yeah,
Berchelt. Come on, something was wrong with that dude, man. Weight training.
Well, he's a little overrated.
I don't think so. I think that first 2 rounds he fought
people
with the
underrate Oscar Valdez. That's the
New Jersey guy. What was his name? The New Jersey guy, the small guy. Berchelt knocked him out.
Oh wait,
Ramon?
No, he's the pizza guy. What was his name? Jason Sosa. Jason Sosa was completely outboxing him in the first 2 rounds. If anybody ever watched, but
well, yeah, Oscar Valdez isn't really much of a fundamental boxer, but he's got good power.
Yeah, but neither is Sosa, right? And Sosa was beating.
Well, apparently so, according to what you're saying.
The first 2 rounds, and then something happened to his ankle or something, and then he was stationary and just got teed off on. But when we go back to like real fights such as Gonzalez versus Estrada, right? It's that the result was just so bad that it just left a nasty taste in everybody's mouth.
Canelo Triple G rematch.
Hold on. But like, what was it? The Monday after that, to stop people from even talking about it, they announced Joshua versus Fury, and everybody just forgot about Gonzalez versus Estrada, right? And it was just, you never heard anything about Fury Joshua after that, after they announced it. And it just seemed like they just announced it just to get people to stop talking about that bad decision or the robbery or the rigness or the fix that was Gonzalez Estrada.
And they kind of did a disservice at the same time too, right? Because wasn't Rung Visai, right? Wasn't he supposed to get the winner of that fight?
Yeah.
And so this is what boxing, look, get it right the first time, because I know you're capable of doing it. When these judges or referees, when they want to do the proper job, they mostly do it. Okay, they do a good job. And so it's just, how can I say, it's just a way to like keep you invested in this fight. Oh, okay, so it's not settled. They're gonna fight a third time. I mean, look, anybody knows that. You watch that fight. It was a good ass fucking fight. It was close too. But if that fight was scored properly, it's either a draw or Chocolatito wins that fight. Okay,
that dude should be undefeated, man. He should still be undefeated.
Yeah, the first fight with Rung Visai, there was some bullshit going on.
He beat him clearly. No need for a rematch, man.
Another reason why you just can't like government in sports. I guess they interfere, or they're supposed to keep it fair, but they don't. Because they're the ones that appoint the judges, right?
Yep.
It just so happens that at the highest level, you see the worst refereeing and the worst judging, right? It's just so, right? So when you're talking about good refereeing and good judging, you only see it at like the amateur level or like the lower levels. But when you get to the biggest stage, that's when
I
everybody
thought
does
amateurs
their
get it
giant
wrong, right?
wars.
Didn't they get the Irish kid wrong and Floyd Mayweather wrong? And...
Oh, that's the Olympics, and yeah, that's.
I
Just
don't know if
rigged.
they
It
got the
was.
Floyd Mayweather one wrong. I mean, it was a close fight. You could probably say Floyd won. He should have won, but they make it seem like it was a blowout. It wasn't.
What about the Irish kid? Ugly ass motherfucker.
There was no blowout either, man.
How do you see
That
that
fight
one?
was close as well.
But
It
that
was
doesn't really
close.
happen at like world champs. It's really the Olympics, because you look at Joshua, like he couldn't get anything done. Well, he was all right when it came to like world championships, but then when he had his Olympics in the UK, they literally gave him the gold medal, man. I mean, the Cuban dude schooled him. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Oh, you talking about that? What was his
Savon,
name?
Erislandy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Erislandy Savon. Yeah, he did win that fight 100%.
Easy.
Yeah.
So what's behind that? What's behind the Olympics?
Well, he was. Remember, it was in.
They're an amateur organization.
It was in London, Durden. That fight was that.
Oh, the UK Olympics.
Yeah, so he's representing the
Yeah,
country.
but why would they do that though? Like, I mean,
because it's on TV. Look, on TV. Olympics is, you know this, man. The Olympics is like a big fucking ritual to show national superiority.
So where's the federal government indicting these people?
Why would they?
I mean, they indict fucking people like me.
It is the government that's paying them, and they're taking the money for the from the
government is a corporation.
All you have to do is just look at what happened with Brazil, right? Brazil took all the money.
They indicted Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, but when you look at the situation in Brazil, they took all of the nation's money, and the officials or whoever were in charge.
Do you think they're still? Do you think it's an ongoing investigation? They just don't go like the federal government doesn't go for things until they know for sure.
It's not even a secret. It's just open that it's rigged.
Bernie Madoff was a fucking scapegoat just for the news cameras. You know how many people did that shit and got away with it? They just.
No, I agree with you there, but I mean,
pacify people.
The whole point of the federal government is to stop rigged sporting events, right?
But that's not gonna happen. They're not.
No, but I mean that's their purpose, right?
Yeah,
they
of course.
Catch everybody else, right?
That's what they're supposed to do in every situation, right? Like, fucking.
So what happens with this horse?
Like capitalism is supposed to be.
They got exposed for cheating in the Kentucky Derby.
Capitalism is supposed to be a fucking something between you and me, and the government only steps in when somebody is like trying to do harm to the other person, trying to rob them or whatever. It's the only time but does that really happen? No. They don't. They use.
They do investigate. They investigate the MLB when the MLB is doing corrupt shit.
Of course, they all do.
Why don't they go? Why don't they go at boxing if it's so obvious?
They don't care about boxing.
How come the federal government doesn't go after boxing?
I don't think they care about boxing. They're like, whatever, fuck that thing. Let them run it the way they've always run it, and it serves a purpose too.
But Durden, like, how do you know what contracts boxing has signed with the government or some of these agencies? For all you know, there could have been a law. Like, it's not like you sit there and you read all the laws, right? There could have been a bill passed that classified boxing, let's say, as sports entertainment. Let's say it's no longer. It's not a national.
Well, that has to be public information, correct?
Well, then go look it up. Right.
Okay, if it is public information, then why are they betting on it in Las Vegas, which is illegal?
What's illegal?
To bet on something that's a fixed event.
But no. But Durden, do you honestly telling me you know the laws? You know how to read legalese? You know how to like.
Right. You can't legally gamble on an event.
You're saying this because somebody told you this, but do you actually know how laws work?
Okay, you're telling me it's legal to bet on something that's already prefixed.
I'm not saying that I know. I'm just saying what if. What you're repeating is shit you heard on TV.
Can you bet on the WWF?
Probably. Why not?
I don't know.
I think you can.
Do you think the elections are fixed?
Could.
Of course,
yeah.
You think elections?
Because it's a storyline. They don't tell you the storyline, so you don't know what the end result is, right?
Of course,
real quick, guys. Fighter complex, or I'm gonna put you in the backstage for a second.
I'm about to go to sleep anyways, bro.
All right, my brother.
Hey, Fighter complex, why'd you kick me out last night, bro? I'm gonna ask you that though.
Before I leave, I'm gonna say, bro, because sometimes you go off
I ain't going
Same.
off on nothing, bro. I was just
See?
talking about my peoples, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand that now, but sometimes you go off on a tangent, you know, and
You
it's
know,
like, whoa, like where did that come from?
Good answer.
nah,
Good
you know
answer.
what? You were giving into your panel. They wanted me out, and that's what you gave them what they
No,
wanted.
no, I mean,
And
I like you because you're controversial, but sometimes it's like over the top, you know.
a little over the top. You know what the people that were like supportive of me listening thought it was? Like they just thought like you couldn't handle the questions I was asking. That's why you guys kicked
No,
me
no,
out.
no. I like the trolling, but like sometimes if
I'm not trolling. I was asking
Hold on,
legit
gentlemen,
questions.
gentlemen.
you know, yeah.
Get a room.
This is a
Fighter
different channel,
complex.
Yeah,
guys. This is
take
a
this
different
somewhere
channel.
else, man.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
I
Yeah,
appreciate you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
bro. And I want you.
Hey,
Recognize my
apology,
bad.
man. You need to calm down too, bro.
Yo, recognize. Thanks, bro, for having me. And
Peace,
yeah,
my
Dirty,
brother.
you're welcome back. But all right, peace,
No, I'm just
guys.
fucking around.
Peace. He owned you.
Oh,
Yes,
you
I like
put
it.
him off for a dog.
MXBC, baby.
I had to get
MXBC,
L
that's how we
Dog.
do it.
I had to get L Dog on here because L Dog. Say what you were saying in the chat.
What's up, MXBC, bro? MXBC represent.
What's up, Durden? Hey, man, to be honest, I never wanted to say this, but I have to say it.
Never trust a man who starts his sentence with, to be honest. Go ahead.
Canelo is
You
the
better
best
learn
fighter
how
of
to.
this generation.
Oh,
In my
That's
opinion,
right. That's right,
That's an
boy.
opinion. That's not.
in my opinion, Canelo
It's not your
Alvarez.
opinion, L dog. It's your alpha white fucking genetics that fucking have deciphered these things. So
Well,
just
come on,
saying.
Michael. Why are you always going there? Come on, man.
I know.
Canelo.
My name is not Michael. It's Durden.
Hey, but look, the thing with Canelo is the dude is just beating countless champion after champion. You can say, oh, but he fought Yildirim. But what I'm talking about is in like the time frame, right? Because I mean, he's beat 2 undefeated world champions in like what, 6 months, maybe
yeah.
less.
On
Yeah,
paper,
2
yeah.
undefeated world champions. I
On
mean, that's
paper.
yeah. I mean, he beat them in the ring too. I mean, you gonna try and tell me he didn't beat them?
Oh,
No.
dog.
You didn't.
Are they any? Can I ask a question? Are they any good?
Well, they were world champions.
Okay, I didn't ask my question. Are they any good in your opinion?
Yeah, you know what? They were good fighters. They just couldn't beat Canelo.
Okay.
So you just think, what is it? What is it that you
It's
think
like
that?
hold on. It's like Nicholas Walters, right? And Gary Russell Jr. Those guys are good fighters. They just couldn't fuck with Lomachenko.
Oh, facts, bro.
There's no shame in even when it comes to Triple G, like Daniel Jacobs, good fighter. Derevianchenko. Well, Derevianchenko gave him a hard fight, so I'll say, even
Kind of did, bro.
some of the guys he beat, dude, the great fighters can just make it look like it's easy.
You didn't find it weird that they had to ask everybody if Billy Joe Saunders was there to take a dive or not? They had to ask his dad. They had to ask Tyson Fury. They had to
Yeah,
ask
like
his
I
what's
thought
going
they
on?
were
trainers.
asking if
They
he
had to ask
quit. I thought they were
everybody, and
asking if he quit.
it seemed
Bro.
like no. I'm talking about before the fight,
Before
right?
the fight, yeah.
Before the
Billy
fight,
Joe.
it was like almost like a media.
Because you know why they did that, right? Fight Scout. Because when the
Cover
fight
up.
was signed, the next day, I was gonna say L Dog. Billy Joe Saunders goes on IFL TV, and I know he was taking a piss. He's taking a piss. Yeah, he's just taking a piss. But he said, "I don't think I'm gonna lose this fight." He fucking said it.
I never
Bro,
heard no
come
one
on.
say
He
some shit
was
like
just
that, man.
trolling. He was
Okay,
just
he was trolling,
Yeah,
but
but
he
even
ends up
then,
quitting. He ends up quitting, L Dog. He ends up
Yeah.
quitting the fucking
He
fight.
didn't quit the fight, bro.
Nah, he did
Come
quit.
on,
But
Durden. He
nah,
quit the
he
fight.
did quit.
His
He quit
corner
after
fucking called it.
he
Right.
quit after getting 4 places fractured.
Come on,
in his
guys. We
right
got to
foot.
stick to the narrative here.
yeah, but whenever have you ever heard all the media asking everybody, is he
Because
he
that's
gonna
the
take a dive
goddamn
or whatever
narrative,
it
and you
is,
got to
right?
stick to it, Fight Scout. Why
That's like
you?
the first time I've
Don't you
ever
want to make
seen it.
money, Fight Scout? Got to make money on this YouTube shit. You got to
Because
stick
Oh
to
no,
the
he's not
narrative.
here
how
to.
good
He's not here to
Canelo
lay
is, man.
down.
Canelo is beating the fuck out of these guys, and look. The part of the reason why some of these guys are hesitant to engage with Canelo It's because they're just scared to get counted.
Because they know how rich he is.
The famous
You know what it is?
counter.
You know what it is? It's all those
recognize-
Mexicans in the
But
crowd.
hold on. That's why Triple G did not throw much to the body. He was scared to get counted.
He was
'cause
scared
he knew
shitless of all
Canelo-
those goddamn Mexicans in the parking lot is what it
He
was.
knew Canelo had a clear hand speed advantage and could counter him at will if he went to the body.
Easy work, man. I mean, he fucking.
Yeah, when he went to the body, he could.
Oh yeah, man. Even though most reporters at the fight had Triple G
mean-
winning, I mean, the dude was clearly scared.
That's
Look,
not
But
what I
he did
said
land.
at
He
all.
did. I mean,
Hold on.
be honest though. Precise. He did land some good fucking shots on Triple G.
Hold
Like
on.
no one,
Yo,
no one
recognize-
ever has. No one ever has.
Recognize, when did this whole thing of like, because I know these guys haven't been watching boxing all that long. When did this whole
I've
thing?
been watching boxing for a long time.
Hold on. This whole thing of like he's scared of the counter punch. When did this happen? And like this is boxing.
It just recently happened. Like that was
Mayweather, right?
I mean, it happened with
That's
Lomachenko
one.
too. That guy was scared to get counted by Lopez.
So all of a sudden, guys that are supposed to get in that ring, take punches and give punches, they're scared of getting punched. And every black guy is a fucking orbital bone fracture now. I mean, like what the? I don't accept that. I'm
You know
sorry.
what? You know what? Getting
what I'm
scared of
saying
the counter is basically. Hold on, real quick, L-Dog. You know how when I hear people say that, what you're saying is he's afraid to get hit, and what I'm saying is,
Yo, dog's about to cook right now, bruh.
what I'm saying is this, right? If you're afraid to get hit, if that's the whole thing. If you're afraid to get hit, then why are you just standing there not doing anything? The way
You're
you
not
stop
a good
somebody from
fighter.
hitting
If you're afraid of getting hit, you're not a good fighter.
yeah, you're not a good fighter. That's one.
Yeah, you're a bum.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Recognize
That
but,
is true.
You know,
Hopefully not, though.
God
I'm
damn
gonna
it,
be-
L-Dog. You're supposed to fucking back up the MXPC right now, and you're looking.
no,
fucking
I'm gonna
weak
be
right
right
now,
back. But you know, if you're scared to be hit, you're a bum. Well, I mean, how would you explain Lomachenko running
You
around
can
the ring
always
for 6
counter
rounds?
the counter, man. That's
God damn
the
it,
technique.
although-
Is
You can always counter the counter. Yeah.
you can always counter the counter if you
I
know
don't
the
like that
counter is
argument,
coming.
L-Dog.
No, I'm just saying there's contradictions, man. We can't call these fighters bums.
Don't throw Lomachenko under the
If
bus.
you know,
That's not what we're
if
doing.
you know a counter is coming, all you have to do is feint. Once that counter comes, you counter the counter.
Okay, so
And if it
then
never comes, then you
Yeah,
stick
but
the
Canelo
jab.
hits fucking hard, bro.
yeah,
Just head
Canelo.
movement, right?
Canelo is a master
He
counter.
does. He eats fucking good fucking meat, dude. You don't know.
with
He eats
power,
fucking steaks. They give you
speed.
fucking
Look,
massive power.
What I was saying was before
What you were
Precise
saying is
went off on
completely
an emotional
illogical. What
tangent.
you were saying is completely
Precise,
illogical.
You were actually being illogical because I said that that Triple G was scared to throw to the body of Canelo. He was not throwing to the body. He was throwing upstairs, and yeah, I believe he won both fights. But it was
He was
mainly
landing the
because he was
jab to
throwing
the head all
upstairs.
night.
He was terrified to throw to the body because he was too slow, and Canelo would counter him upstairs
Canelo has
every
those
time.
good left hooks,
He
bro.
couldn't
let's
miss
say-
with the jab, so if you can't miss the jab to the head, why would you go to the body?
That's why L-Dog said he won, though.
To say that a fighter is terrified, okay, where's the evidence? It's just your opinion. Like, how do you know
Look
what's
at
going
their
in his head?
face, though, dude.
Hold
They
on.
look like they're scared of Canelo.
Stop trolling, dude. Stop trolling.
Come on, man. It's obvious.
Shut up.
Anyway,
That's your opinion. I mean, all I have to do is say I have a
All right, I'll
different
be
opinion,
quiet.
and it's a stalemate. Now, look, the reason why what he was saying was illogical is because he's completely ignoring the last 6 rounds of the fight. Was he scared of getting hit by then? No. And so the logical, reasonable explanation for what happened in that fight, and Loma gave you that, was I had an injury going into the fight. I didn't want to hurt myself early, so I stayed away from him, and then I tried to win the fight late because all he thought he had, in his own opinion, in his own words, he thought he had 6 or 7 rounds to give, and that's it. Did he look scared of getting hit in the last 6 rounds? No, he whooped his ass. So it's ridiculous. How do you tell me he's scared of getting hit when he's in that same fucking fight against that same guy, getting hit and hitting him back twice as much? It doesn't make any sense. It's retarded. There's a better explanation, but because people have a certain bias and a preconceived notion, they just talk out of their fucking ass. It doesn't make any sense what he said, period.
Since
so
when does the
basically, if
body
you don't
count?
think that boxing's a completely fake sport, you're talking out of your ass, right?
No, but they changed the scoring criteria in that second fight where it was like some sort of like kid's body punch sport or something, right?
That's right. I mean, we're all talking out of our ass.
Right, because Triple G was landing that jab to the head, and since when was a jab to the body better than a jab to the head?
Can I ask a
No.
question?
Well, body
to,
shots suck.
Go ahead,
go ahead.
Apology.
It's more well to the whole panel really because you guys are a lot older. When did this whole power punch versus the jab thing start? Because
HBO, Max Kellerman.
yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, but a jab is a power punch. Any punch that lands with force is a power punch. Therefore, it should be scored equally.
No, jabs are not power punches, sir.
Especially if you already
but when
know
did that
that
start?
Golovkin's jab is like one of the best you've ever seen, right, on video.
Yeah.
So when does it not count when he's historically one of the best jabbers?
It counts for something, but depending on how you score fights, yeah, it sets up a lot of stuff. It establishes ring generalship for sure.
Sergey knocked the dude out with a jab. Triple G TKO'd a whole bunch of dudes with the jab. I mean, like
I mean, that just shows them how badass they are. But if you're getting knocked out with a jab, you better retire from boxing.
Yeah, but he did the same thing to David Lemieux. He jabbed him in the face all night, and when Lemieux didn't have the gas anymore, G turned it on and he tried to knock him out.
Right, it takes a long time for the jab to work. Therefore, it's not a power punch.
Whatever, man.
How many power punches does it take? How many power punches does it take to finish somebody compared to a jab?
That depends on the person.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get knocked out by a jab.
Really?
You can get knocked out by a jab.
So you're saying Billy Joe Saunders had a better jab than his left hand because his left hand sucks. Anybody I know that talks about boxing here in Southern California thinks that Billy Joe Saunders don't got a left hand.
He's
got a right hand.
Nobody said any of that.
Everybody I know that has been everybody that I know has been watching Billy Joe Saunders thinks his left hand is weak, sir. Correct or not?
No.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying that Billy Joe Saunders' left hand is
weak? You're gonna yell like a monkey. Or you're gonna listen?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking yell. Yeah, I'm gonna yell, dude.
Right,
Respond.
Durden. Yes, his left hand is weak, but if you were to get hit with it, it would bruise you. It would hurt, but
right. But if you're good at
you're not going to get
boxing like
out.
Canelo is, right? Like at moving away from those things, like it might not hurt as much, right?
So you're chimping out, bro. You should represent.
I'll chimp on your ass any day I want to, bro.
You should represent for the white race and calm the fuck down, man.
I am representing for the white race.
No, you're not.
Unlike
No, you're not,
unlike you, homie. Unlike you, homie.
I'm not white, dude. Get the shit out of
here.
here.
Yeah, you're not white, dude. I am.
All right, Durden. Durden, yes, that jab. When you're talking about taking damage,
calm down, fool.
When you're talking about taking damage, you get weak, like physically weak, right? And we saw that with Canelo because he got hit with the right hand and he almost went to sleep.
True.
So I don't know what point you're trying to make with the second one, but yeah.
No, I was making a point. You guys don't want to hear it though. It's cool.
No, because
I was making a point.
We couldn't understand if you were being sarcastic or not.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm always being for reals, bro.
Sometimes you aren't.
No, I'm always 100% for reals, whether I sound like I'm not or not. But I'm always 100%.
Is that where are you from, Durden?
Oxnard.
Oxnard. Is that
Lomachenko?
Is that Oxnard thing or is that sarcasm? Because when you said being for reals, it sounds like you're not being serious. When someone says
I'm being serious here, though. I'm being serious a little bit.
I think it's a chemical imbalance, personally.
Well, that's fine. You can think that if you want. I mean,
it's late at night. Thank you. It's late at night, guys.
I mean, COVID spreading around, people going crazy. Like.
Oh, speaking of COVID, you guys know where this whole idea of like germs,
I don't give a fuck, bro. Dude, don't change the subject.
This whole idea change the
subject. I know it's a bunch of Jews. It's a bunch of Jews though. It's a bunch of Jews. Yeah, I got it.
So like in Nazi Germany.
What about Nazi Germany? What does it have to do with COVID?
They used this whole germ theory in order to bring about a whole bunch of social control. So they had a bunch of Jewish doctors who were questioning the germ theory, which is, I don't know if you guys know this, but germ theory is basically this assumption that bacteria and viruses cause disease. Yeah. So they had a bunch of doctors, Jewish doctors in Germany, who were pro-terrain theory, which says basically it's all about how healthy your body is, how you take care of yourself, and there's no such thing as a pathogen. So they had a whole bunch of doctors in Germany because Germany's always been like super pro-science and shit. And Hitler came in,
right,
and
with all the computers and shit, right?
eliminated all those doctors and started spreading this germ theory myth in order as a means of social control, basically. So what's happening right now, basically, came out of Nazi Germany.
So you're telling me the Jews are copying the Nazis?
Jews are people. Jew is a religion, basically. I don't have a problem with any.
Well, I don't know
religion.
whether they are or not. They're copying the Nazis. That's what you're saying.
I mean, like, how can you talk to someone like? How can I talk to someone like you who like?
Oh, so now you
you're
don't want to talk to
incoherent.
me, right?
No,
I'm incoherent. Right. You don't want to talk to me. I got it. Let's just keep talking about boxing.
Can I say something?
Let's change the subject.
Can I say something? You're just gonna like jump in and
no,
talk.
Go for it. Go for it, dude.
Yeah, like you're not making any sense. You're not even responding.
Are you making any sense? Are you making any sense?
Well, if you don't think I am, then that's fine.
Right. Let's change the subject then. Right. I mean, let's go back to talking about boxing.
Something you know nothing about.
Boxing?
All right, guys, stop. All right. It's getting way out of hand. You guys are jumping to conclusions. You guys are like,
what subject do you know something about?
Nothing.
You guys are connecting dots that aren't even there, man.
Let's
you
just
guys
keep
just need
talking
to
then.
stop. Well, what is this about the Nazis now? I actually do want to hear this.
Who cares about Nazis, man? I mean, why are you bringing up Nazis, Precise?
I do.
Why do you care about Nazis so much, Precise?
You ever heard of BLM, Durden?
Right. I mean, who's worse, Precise, Nazis or BLM?
BLM
so
is
just
worse,
look,
man.
this is what I mean when I say you're incoherent. You said let's change the subject, and then you went right back to it. You're incoherent, bro.
I'm incoherent. I'm willing to talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, dude. That has nothing to do with being coherent.
You are now.
Durden, you gotta slow down, man. You gotta slow down.
Whatever
slow down
you
with
want
your
to
words.
talk, Precise. Whatever you want to talk about, man.
You gotta just slow down with your words so we can actually understand what you're saying. Because sometimes
I'm sorry, I'm so advanced that you don't understand.
No, it's not advanced. We're not mind readers, right?
Well, you gotta learn how to be. If you were Nazis, you would know how to read minds.
You've been talking slick, which is fine, but like don't get all butthurt when people don't understand what it is you're saying, because sometimes it just seems like
I'm not about butthurt. I'm just trying to have a conversation here. It's late at night. I gotta work in the morning. So what's up? What are we talking about?
Yeah, but you're talking. Sometimes you say things that you expect us to understand, and we don't understand the reference.
That's fine. That's why I'm saying let's just talk about boxing. You guys don't understand this thing.
Or is it up to me? Is it up to you?
It's up to recognize. It's his channel. Whatever he wants us to talk about.
Let's go. Come on, topic. Let's get back on the ginger pussy, man. Let's talk some more about that guy, because it's probably like one of the few channels where you could actually speak the truth about the guy. Everywhere else you go, you try to talk about what you see and provide evidence for it. Oh my God, the kind of bitching and moaning and crying is just childish, man.
And when you're talking about Canelo Kovalev, right? So Kovalev knew that he was ahead on the cards, and he knew he needed to basically fall down and fake a dive because he wasn't there to win. He was not there to win.
No, he wasn't.
So when you're talking about everyone else, what you're seeing, what everyone else is doing is they're not even trying anymore, right? Because now, let's say if the judges actually don't rig the fight like they did with Kovalev, because they actually had Kovalev ahead. Once you find yourself ahead, now you understand that you have to lay down. You have to take a punch square in the chin. And that's why we're seeing all these guys just not even try.
I didn't even think about that.
Hey, guys, I'm back. Fuck, man. You can't take a phone call when you're doing these streams. From what I can see, or maybe I'm just doing something wrong. You can't take a phone call when you do these streams. I'm trying to talk to you guys. You guys can't hear me. I can't hear you guys.
Oh.
Then it's like, what the fuck, bro? I almost had to end the fucking stream. But
hold on, I'll be back.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed a lot of the conversation now. What were you guys talking about?
It was a bunch of bullshit now. Not even worth talking about.
It was just people were just misunderstanding everyone. It's crazy.
Okay, somebody's backstage.
But I put everyone in their place. It's all good now.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that, L Dog. I was on the other line, so I didn't see that you were backstage. What's up, bro?
Hold on, L Dog. L
Yeah,
Dog.
what's up? What's up?
Have you ever seen a Muhammad Ali versus Rocky Marciano? Have you seen that?
Bro,
You
that
keep
fight didn't happen.
That fight didn't happen. Look how Canelo versus Kovalev ended, and look at how Muhammad Ali versus Rocky Marciano ended.
Bro, that fight never happened. I don't know what the fuck you're on about.
It
Well,
did
there you
happen.
go. There you go. Kovalev versus Canelo never happened.
No,
He
I'm
fell
saying
down the
fucking
exact same way.
Muhammad Ali versus Rocky Marciano.
It was a computer-generated fight,
Oh,
supposedly.
It was Rocky Marciano wore a wig, and they
Hey, man,
staged the fight.
You're mistaking me for a fool, man. I know that fight didn't happen, but yeah,
Well,
you know that's a good point. Retarded victim. Fucking hell.
I think what happened there was Regal took a dive, meaning he didn't see any way he could win that fight, so he just said, "I'm out of here." That's what I think.
That's quitting.
Yeah. Like
That's
he
quitting.
basically
That's-
he went in there. I think he always knew he couldn't beat that he couldn't beat Lomachenko. Now, did I expect that to happen going in? No, I didn't expect that, but it makes sense because at no point I ever thought Regal would beat Lomachenko.
I think Regal looked up his name online and he saw what all these other channels were saying about him, and he just got really cocky. He just rolled with it. The narratives that the LDBC were spinning, that he was like this one punch jawbreaker, whatever he was, right? So he said, "I'll take the fight," and he just got whooped.
Hey man, we need to keep we need to keep it consistent though, man. A lot of these fights with Lomachenko, they did look kind of fixed. Now I'm not saying they were, but similar to kind of Canelo fights in some ways. Like where one guy just had absolutely no fucking success almost. I mean, look at the Nicholas Walters fight, dude. That fight looks like a fixed fight just because Nicholas Walters, a really decent
Did they pay
fighter,
Nicholas Walters off?
couldn't land a fucking punch, dude. So I mean,
Could it be L Dog that because he couldn't land a punch, right? That he just said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna continue the fight."
Yeah,
right. It's not like he was
absolutely.
taking damage. It's the difference, right? Like it's not like he's taking damage.
Oh, he was gonna get knocked out. He was gonna get knocked
Yeah,
out.
I mean
There wasn't
how
no
long
injury.
the fights
What
he
I'm saying
turns it
is
up.
there was no injuries in that fight. Like he was getting hit up with a lot of shots. He was missing or he wasn't doing anything, so he just quit.
But that's
There
the
were
same
two-
with
there are two
some of
Lomachenko.
these
I'll give
guys
you-
like Billy Joe. Billy Joe was getting backed up, not having the success that he expected to have, and when the going got tough, he quit. Man, Canelo broke his face and made him
He
quit.
didn't quit though.
You have
There are
no
two
proof that he
Lomachenko
broke his
fights.
face.
There are two Lomachenko fights that I'm pretty
He
confident
recovered
were
from his
fixed.
surgery today.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure those two fights were fixed. That's Salido and Teofimo Lopez. I'm pretty sure those two Lomachenko fights were fixed. So I agree with you, Eldo. Let's keep it consistent.
Well, I actually
You
agree
think
that
Lopez was fixed?
I mean, the Salido fight, and to be honest, I don't know if I'd say Lopez was fixed. I'd say it was a setup. If that makes sense. Like I feel like
so it's sort of a
fight,
fix
bro.
then, yeah. But Dog. So what you're saying is okay. So what did you feel was the setup?
I think
I kinda
Lomachenko
agree with you.
thought the refs were going to give him the nod.
no, I think Top Rank they wanted a younger fighter to kind of typical Bob Arum
Top Rank's
style.
about Puerto Ricans now.
Nah, but they wanted to get the older fighter a loss, maybe try and make a trilogy. Kind of how they did with Bradley and
Got to make that
Pacquiao.
money, man.
Again, there's no proof that Billy Joe ever broke his face. No, is there? Is there a picture of him?
There's no proof.
Well,
in
he
the
did. He did
hospital?
recover
Is
from
there
Eddie
an
Hearn.
ex-
Eddie Hearn said they recovered from surgery today. That they had the surgery.
Eddie Hearn said, so it must be true.
Eddie Hearn is the same guy who.
Well, if it's not true, you can federally indict them, right? Right, Precise?
Not really,
Yeah, but
Durden,
you see, here's the thing.
Durden,
You can't
Durden.
federally-
Hold
Go ahead,
on. Remember David Du Bois, or whatever his name is? Du Bois fought Joyce, and when Du Bois claimed he had an eye injury, wasn't Eddie Hearn the one who said, "Send me the X-rays"? Right. So
I
if
know.
he's
I don't
saying,
remember. I didn't follow that like you did, but no.
if he's saying that Billy Joe broke his face, show the X-rays, do something, right? Prove it. Cal
All
Brook did
right.
it.
I mean, even if they do that, is that even proof? I mean, it could be fake X-rays, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
but
that's exactly what you would say, Fight Scout. Like you can
At
literally
least it's
see.
something.
I don't know if you've been in a fight, man, but if someone's eye gets swelled up like that, it's obviously a
it is.
serious injury.
No,
it
no,
is
it's
kind
not.
of
Hey,
bad.
Fight
that's not
Scout, can I
L-Dog,
sock you in the
that's
face the way Canelo
true.
did Billy Joe Saunders and see if your eye breaks?
Go for it, dude. I'm not that.
All right, we'll
I
find
really
out.
don't care about that stuff,
dude,
right?
you're saying a whole bunch
Um,
of dumb shit for no reason, man. Like,
Oh,
No,
I am. I know. I'm sorry.
again, like I said, you just have to get hit the right way, but it doesn't mean that everything's broken. It's like
So
nowadays
you're
what we're
saying
seeing
like
with
he
these
faked
fighters.
everything? The whole thing's WWF. It's all fake.
Did you see how quickly it swell up though?
Yes,
that is
I
It's
did
all.
see
It's all.
that.
It's all
Listen,
fake.
I've
It's all
seen-
special effects. It's all.
Hold
I've
on,
seen
no.
it so many times before, and never was it like a broken face or anything. It can
What
be
I saw
anything.
was what looked like a black eye. I
was a
didn't
black
know
eye.
that it was broken. Now, a black eye, yes, that could happen with one punch. Absolutely, you could hit somebody really good in in that eye area where he had no resistance to stop it, and yeah, you get a black eye. That
Yeah, maybe
happens.
they're exaggerating.
you could hit somebody on the nose and give him two
Yeah,
black
give him a
eyes
black eye.
in
Absolutely,
seconds. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So what I'm saying is that as soon as that happened, right? He just basically they went to the corner, and his corner was like, "Yeah, we're gonna stop it." So Billy Joe either said, "There's something really bad with that eye," right? He had to say it, or they were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna stop the fight." At this point, you're not gonna win the fight. Now you got a black eye. The fight's over. No way you can't. His corner's basically saying, "We know you can't knock him out." So he's a bum, basically, is what he is. Okay, he was just a bum. The guy they had no confidence in him because plenty of guys have gotten their shit broken, and they didn't realize it was broken, right? And maybe they're in some type of pain. Their adrenaline is flowing. They don't know right off the back that their fucking cheekbone is broken, right? And unless it's broken to the point where it hits you and you start screaming, ah, shit. Like I've seen that happen. People get their cheekbone broken and the person starts screaming. That didn't happen. He reacted like a guy who got a black eye and now he's discouraged. That's what
Exactly.
That's how he reacted.
Well, he couldn't
That's
fight
my
either way.
opinion,
He was
right?
going to get his ass
That's
kicked
just an
either way.
opinion, but you can't say it's fact until they actually prove something.
But
Here's
even
what-
then,
here's what
you
I'll-
would
here's
say,
what I'll
you
give-
would
here's
say
what-
it's not proven
God damn.
because you don't know if the X-rays are legit. What I'm saying is we have reason to believe that the injury is true. First of all, we can see some visual
Yeah, but
evidence
you just heard
in the fight.
that there was reason to believe that it was just a black eye too.
Dude, yeah, except here's the thing. Credible sources in the team of Billy Joe Saunders have admitted to
Credible
going to
Billy Joe
hospital.
Saunders. That shit doesn't go together, bro. Credible and
It's
Billy
kind of
Joe
like
Saunders.
That's a first-hand account.
It's like when you see a
Doesn't
fighter get
matter.
rocked nowadays. Like they just get rocked. Everyone's like, "Oh, he got a concussion. Oh, he got a concussion." It's like, no, he didn't. Right? Because anybody who gets rocked, or people who have been rocked, it's not just an automatic concussion, right? You have to go through like a protocol. Usually, I
so
know.
here it is.
Sorry,
Billy
Durden,
Joe
right?
says,
But again,
thanks,
my
everyone.
wife bumped her head on the wall and she couldn't work for a month, dude.
yeah, Durden, I'm
bumped her head
not.
on the wall.
It's different for everyone, but
Everybody's different. Yeah, you got.
Men have
here's the
thicker
thing,
bones.
Billy Joe Saunders himself has said that his
You can't just
cheekbone
say, "Oh, it's
and his
this."
eye socket were injured. He said,
Yo, L
word
Dog.
for word, broken eye socket and broken cheekbone in 3 places. Operation yesterday all went well. Now we've actually seen the eye injury, not in entirety, but the guy's admitted to
L
getting
Dog,
it.
you're not convincing anybody. Like we're not convinced. Let it go, bro. Like why are you so emotionally attached?
You gotta
to this guy?
you gotta be
We're not
convinced, though.
convinced.
You gotta be convinced.
Right, and here's an example: Triple G2 versus Canelo, the rematch. Canelo hit him with the same punch in the same eye, and he had the same injury. It was just a black eye.
Yeah, basically, that's all it was.
It was just
Bro,
a black
you
eye.
can't judge the
You didn't
severity.
see, you didn't see Golovkin claim he had a broken face and just quit right
But
there.
Billy Joe,
Should Billy Joe Saunders have continued to fight?
But he
Yes.
quit. He quit. Yes
Of
or no?
course.
Well, he quit.
He should have continued to fight.
He
quit.
Of course.
This is a guy whose his initial interview
Wow.
said he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
a different
fucking
thing,
around,
though.
obviously.
You know, I knew this was gonna happen.
I don't think
I said
anyone fights a Canelo fight thinking they're gonna win.
Nah,
why would
see,
you go
like
in then?
let's not be autistic and interpret everything black and white. Like there's alternative meanings as well. You got to read between the lines.
L-Dog, I say to you, I'm gonna kill your neighbor. Your neighbor ends up turned up dead, and I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say, I think Recognize might have done that shit? Because
Well,
No,
it depends, dude.
Right. Some people claim they committed suicide. They killed Abraham Lincoln. They're fucking crazy.
No, but what I'm saying, hold on, Durden, man. But what I'm saying is this: if we're having a couple drinks and you joke about it, and you're like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna fucking kill your neighbor or something," I'm gonna be like, and he winds up dead. I'm gonna find that shit funny. I'm gonna be like, "Man, did you actually do that shit?" But I'm not gonna immediately assume. It's a difference.
We
if
wouldn't
you just
tell
go,
on you.
If you started a confession to me, and you were like, "Yeah, man, so your neighbor's been doing this. I'm gonna really hurt them or whatever," and then they end up dead. That's a different thing. You got to interpret the situation.
We are interpreting the situation.
Exactly. And this is my interpretation. Billy Joe was making fun of Rocky Fielding and Callum Smith, his fellow countrymen, for getting beat the fuck up, saying that they just took a dive or whatever because they're garbage. He was more poking fun at them. He came to win, but he just got the fight beaten out of him and quit.
Yeah, that's your opinion, bro.
He
and that's
fucked
great.
up at one point. He fucked
That's
up
your
at one
opinion.
point.
I disagree. So it doesn't.
You really think Billy Joe Saunders
doesn't-
let Canelo hit him with that uppercut?
No.
It doesn't affect me emotionally because you have a different opinion than I do. So let's just move on
I'm
past
not
this
even
bullshit
talking about
because
emotion. I'm just saying.
I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to L-Dog.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, and you're ignoring me.
All right, calm down. Listen.
Dude, you're petty, like
dirty.
Petty, like a little bitch, man. For real.
Okay, bitch.
Dirty. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Are you saying that we're saying that he let him hit him that way? Are you saying that?
Is Precise saying that? That's what I'm asking him.
I never heard him say that. Okay, look, this is what
It sounds like that's what he's saying.
This is what we always bump into. Now nobody knows what happened.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, Canelo Alvarez is a fucking drug cheat. Bottom line, I don't care what anybody thinks.
Okay, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
So all right. So basically, that alone tells me that there's some fucking rigging going on here. Okay, because he's always physically just much stronger.
I know, right?
Whatever. He's always since he got busted, he's gotten bigger. How does that make sense?
Right. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. But Precise isn't saying that. Precise isn't addressing those things. He's addressing
Butero's a cutting agent.
That Billy Joe Saunders let him hit him
Oh,
with the right
dog,
uppercut.
you really think Canelo was just using Camburo?
Absolutely
If you know anything,
not.
if you know anything about
I believe
drug
he is
testing.
a drug. I believe he does use PEDs, just like all other top level competitors.
I love how, like, when we
That's not the point.
first started talking about drug use in boxing, and I was one of the first people to just come out and just say it, like, everybody's using it, relax, guys, and everyone was just pointing fingers at everybody, and then Canelo tested positive, and all of a sudden, like, drug testing basically went away. No one's even talking about drug testing anymore. Nobody wants to clean up the sport anymore, and all of a sudden, only after Canelo tested positive, everybody's doing PEDs. Way to keep it fucking consistent, man. Way to keep it.
They've always
been my opinion, but I agree. I think people, they love to change the narrative to suit their opinion. But when it comes to Canelo, yeah, I mean, that's another reason why there's good reason to believe he broke fucking Billy Joe's eye socket, man. The dude is a drug cheat and he's a professional boxer. If someone using PEDs training,
they have Reynoso in their corner. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of reasonable to assume if they hit you clean in the eye, it's gonna fuck something up.
Well, that's what. So it's criminal, right?
Gloves and fucking stacked wraps.
So it's kind of criminal then.
Either way, man. Either way.
Nah, man. To be honest, Billy Joe is also a PED user.
Right.
You know what? Look, fine, right? They both PED users. But you know what I noticed when it came to Floyd Mayweather, and was a fucking he was taking advantage of his A side privileges like a motherfucker, right? And they're letting him do this. But when he got exposed for doing what he was doing for the Manny Pacquiao fight and others, right? And all these stuff came up about him. Everybody called him a drug cheat. Like that was the same people that are arguing against Canelo having a fucking like physical advantage going into the fight, or the fights look fixed or whatever. It seems like because he's an exciting fighter in a way, right? And he's Mexican.
It's because he's white. It's because he's white. Just say it. It's because
he's probably
white.
because he's white. He's a white Mexican.
Yeah.
And so they kind of like him for the fact that he's, because he's the anti Mayweather. He doesn't have the same style as him. He's not an asshole like him. Although I do think that Canelo is an asshole. Like you could just listen to him. Get the fuck out of here. Though he says it like a dude who's like very arrogant. Anyway, that's my opinion. But the point is that he's getting the benefit of the doubt by certain people that were dissing Floyd Mayweather. Okay, when Floyd got exposed, and they're like, "Oh, I question all his fights." Okay, maybe that's over exaggerating, and I don't question, like Canelo's whether he's a talented fighter or not. I think he is. But when you add all these little A side advantages, it makes him impossible to beat. And then, we have a safeguard. Like if you actually beat him, well, you're just not going to get that on the scorecards, and we have proof of that. He fucking beat. I don't care what you think. He clearly beat Canelo in the first fight. Clearly beat him. Okay. Yes, Canelo was competitive in rounds. Absolutely. But he won that fight. And there you go. They gave it a draw.
When did Canelo ever break anybody's face?
Never. But now that he's gaining weight, he's breaking guys' faces.
Even when he was being first promoted, do you guys remember what Oscar De La Hoya was saying? He's saying this is the Mexican Mayweather. He's not going to stand there. He's not going to fight like a Mexican. He's going to fight like a slickster, and he doesn't have that much power, but he's skillful like Mayweather.
No more.
He was.
Yeah, but that was his style.
He was pretty
man,
he was never like that.
When it comes to Canelo and the A-side tactics, this is not exclusive to Canelo.
He didn't have the punching power to even fight that way.
He does now.
People love to single out A-side tactics when it comes to Canelo, but Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Robinson, even Sugar Ray Leonard, these guys all used A-side tactics, man.
L-Dog, have you seen it on this level though? Because this is something completely new.
I have,
I've
man.
never
Pacquiao
seen it. I
draining
haven't.
the fuck out of De La Hoya.
No,
L-Dog, you'll be dishonest.
L-Dog.
Why do you have an opinion on something you didn't watch? You weren't even watching boxing back then. So like, how are you gonna tell all OGs what happened in that fight?
You know what happened,
L-Dog?
L-Dog?
You watching boxing, bro. Like, just be fucking intellectually honest, man. It's fucking annoying.
L-Dog, you know what happened in that fight? You know what happened in that situation? Okay.
Enlighten me.
So De La Hoya had lost to Floyd Mayweather at 154 pounds. Floyd Mayweather went back down in weight and fought Ricky Hatton and said, I'm interested in a rematch with De La Hoya at 147 pounds. Then Floyd retired. Manny Pacquiao had just moved up to 135 and said, after he beat David Diaz, De La Hoya said, I'm looking for a big fight. I want to fight. He's the A side, okay, by a mile at that point. I'm willing to fight Manny Pacquiao at 147 pounds. There was no catch weight. There was none of that stuff going on. De La Hoya made a mistake. He thought that if he could come in light, he can keep up with Manny Pacquiao's speed. That's what happened.
And another thing,
remember his fight before that, he fought a guy named Steve
152.
Yeah, 150. He fought
150.
Okay.
Because he knew he was going to be fighting Floyd, and he took like 2 years to make the weight. And there's even if you watch the 24 whatever it was called before it was called 24/7, De La Hoya is talking on camera saying that like after a hard sparring session he's like 150 pounds. He'll go into that ring at 160, and after a hard sparring session, he will lose like 10 pounds of water weight, and he was basically on weight. And going into that fight, Pacquiao was the underdog. He wasn't like an 8-1 fucking favorite where everybody knew what was going to happen. People were the narrative was the same as Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. He's gonna kill him. That was the narrative going into that fight.
Exactly.
Okay, so how about his fight with Miguel Cotto, where there was a catch weight in that fight? Are we gonna deny that?
Okay, no.
What are we denying?
Nobody's
Who's
denying.
denying?
That's an A-side tactic right there.
No,
Yeah,
but
so
you're missing the point, L Dog.
Right.
Point
so
is
when
Canelo
Canelo,
does it over
always
the
on
board.
point,
Canelo
guys. You guys
does
Yes,
it
Canelo
really,
does
really
it way
well.
L
more.
Dog is on point with this shit.
There were no A-side
it's
tactics
not.
against
No,
Billy Joe
L-Dog.
Saunders.
No,
L-Dog, when this let me say something. When this shit was happening, when we were watching boxing, we were talking about this the same way we're talking about Canelo right now. You weren't around. Now it's time to talk about Canelo. You want to like drag us back
He
to
was
the
around.
fucking past where we all talked about this shit. We all discussed it. We've had these
I'm
conversations.
sure
No one.
L Dog was around.
Hey,
dude.
Durden, shut your fucking ass up.
No, I'm sure L Dog was around. You need to relax.
It's fucking Flavor over there, man. Flavor.
Oh no, I'm yelling. Your little penis is shrinking, bitch.
It's called revisionist history because nobody was saying that.
Bro,
back
trust
then.
me,
You shut
bro.
the fuck up, faggot.
Wrap your pretty
Nobody
lips
was
around
saying
it. Promise you it'll grow.
Nobody was saying that he was weight drained back then.
Nobody said that. Because listen,
Nobody.
go look at the L Dog. All right, I like you, L Dog. You're a cool dude.
Cotto
Go
came up
look
from
at the
135.
Go
L
look at
Dog's
the
a real
weigh-in.
OG, bro.
Go.
Okay,
Hold on.
Cotto came up from 135, but guess what? He didn't come up from 135 to fight Manny Pacquiao.
L-Dog, now it's time to talk about Canelo. You want to deflect and talk about Pacquiao. We've
No,
been
what
had
I'm
those.
saying is you hold
No,
double
you're not.
standards towards
No,
specific
you don't
fighters.
understand. Go ahead. Finish what
To
you're
me,
gonna say.
it seems like you hold a double standard against Canelo. Look,
What did
I
I say?
hate
Okay.
A-side. I hate A-side
So what did I
tactics.
say?
Full stop. Okay, I hate catch
L-Dog,
weights.
what did I say about Pacquiao back in the day?
I haven't seen every video you've
Well,
said
then how
about
can you
Pacquiao.
say I have a double standard?
Because I've heard you contradict yourself previously by saying Pacquiao is
What
the
did I
opposite of an establishment
Did
fighter.
Pacquiao throw
like
his fight
Canelo.
against Mayweather precise?
Possibly.
So you don't know what I said.
Did Pacquiao
About-
throw his fight against Mayweather, dude?
So you don't know what I said about Pacquiao back in the day with regards.
So you don't
to-
want to answer my question?
recognize, please.
Hold on.
Come
How
on,
can I
man.
answer
Take
two
'em off.
questions
Take
at
'em off.
once?
Let him answer the question. Go ahead. You got him speak. Go ahead.
So like L-Dog has no clue what I was saying about Pacquiao back in the day. And I'm not here to like defend myself or rehash.
Basically, what you're saying is every fight's fixed, right?
Durden. You can't
Jesus
let him.
Recognize, please, man. Come on, kick him off.
Yeah, seriously.
No, don't
like the
kick him
guy's
off.
I'll
retarded.
take a break.
Don't
I'll take a
kick him
break.
off. Don't kick him off.
No, I'm not kicking him off.
No.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just this is the childish fucking tactics. It's like just
You're
make him lose his
deflecting.
fucking
It's called
train of thought.
deflecting.
Yeah, it's just retarded. Look, L-Dog, you weren't around. Basically, is the point. We've already had those conversations. Now it's time to talk about Canelo. You want to talk about Pacquiao when you weren't even there to have that conversation. How about we have a conversation about Canelo? And now, if you want to talk about Pacquiao's A-side advantages, well, of course he had some A-side advantages, but to completely disregard the fact that he was A-sided also, and he was fucked over many times and robbed over and over. When do you see Canelo getting robbed? How many times was Pacquiao robbed? 3 or 4 or 5 different times already? Like you're comparing apples and oranges. No one's denying that Pacquiao didn't have some advantages.
Pacquiao was only robbed once.
Whatever, man.
No, I think he
disagree
was
with
robbed
you.
more than that. I think he-
That was against Timothy Bradley. Floyd Mayweather schooled him, and Jeff Horn bullied
Okay,
him.
That's just your opinion, dude. Like I don't have to agree with
Yeah,
the
it
shit
also
that you're
happens
saying.
to be the opinion of the 3 judges and the unofficial
Okay, Eldo,
scorers,
when it comes to
and
like
the vast majority of people.
Eldo, when it comes to
That's
landing,
bullshit, L-Dog. But
when it comes to
you
a
know,
fight
whatever.
where he clearly won, he's been robbed more than
To
once.
say, look, to even say, this is how illogical you are. To even say that it happens to be the opinion of the judges, what you're really saying is that there are no robberies in boxing. But then you're going to turn around and say that this or that guy is getting robbed. You're the one who's being inconsistent, okay? Like
I'm
you
not
really
being
gotta.
inconsistent because I also cited other factors. You're only choosing to isolate one because we know judges can rob fighters, okay? But what I'm saying is all 3 judges the unofficial scorers, even from Pacquiao's network, HBO, who have no financial incentive to be pro Floyd.
I disagree.
And if we want to talk about the majority of people thought Floyd Mayweather.
No, the majority of people thought Pacquiao won that fight. The majority
No,
of people
that's just simply
I
not
thought
true.
Manny
You can
Pacquiao
look
what
at
you're
won that
saying
fight.
is simply
I
not
thought Manny
true.
Okay. All right. Here's my evidence. All right. You can go on a website that's unofficially scores fights. Right. So people are submitting their unofficial scorecards.
Worldwide?
These people who are, submitting their unofficial scorecards are more likely to be more interested in boxing than the average person just
That's
watching
an
a fight
appeal to authority. It's a fallacy.
Right, but we also have
Right.
logical reason to believe that. And what I'm saying is we can
Hold
look
on,
at
let
these
him
unofficial
finish.
scorecards and we can see that the vast majority were for Manny Pacquiao. And we can also look at
disagree.
unofficial scorecards.
I
Okay, so you're
disagree.
disagreeing that my source is the vast majority for Manny Pacquiao.
How many scorecards are on there?
The vast majority
How
did
many
think Manny
scorecards are on
Let me
there?
Pacquiao
have a
won
look.
against Mayweather, correct?
So after the fight, after the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, I saw a poll on, I forget what it was, SB Nation, I think, and they took it down real quick because the question was, did Floyd Mayweather deserve to win that fight? 64% of the people responding, and it was something like 3,000 people before they took it down. 64% of the people answered that question no. Now, while that doesn't mean that they
Is
thought
that is that confirming what we're saying?
Oh my God! Like, really? Anyway,
I saw that poll.
Is it not? I
was,
mean,
I saw that poll
L Dog,
too.
L
I
Dog
saw that
confirmed
poll,
what you're
and they
saying.
took it down, and I remember clearly. I remember this clearly that Evander Holyfield, people that were there at the fight, immediately said they thought Pacquiao won the fight, but then later on changed their opinion when, like, I guess let's just say let's give Floyd Mayweather the benefit of the doubt. When they pressed Evander Holyfield, he folded and said, "Okay, yeah, Mayweather won the fight." That was like his initial reaction was he thought Pacquiao had won the fight, and he explained why. He explained because he said he was bringing the fight, he was trying to make the fight, and Floyd Mayweather didn't really do anything. Now, I'm not trying to change your opinion, L Dog. A lot of people agree with you.
bro, L Dog just. Sorry, bro. L Dog just basically confirmed what we're saying. He posted a link.
Not,
hold on.
I already know
Let
what
me
you're gonna
say
say.
something. L Dog, hold on. He basically just confirmed what we were saying. He posted a link to Floyd Mayweather Eye on the Ring people's unofficial scorecards, and 62% of the people scoring that fight disagree with the official result. So he just what did I say? 64%, right?
Okay, so why don't you take a deeper look? So why don't you take a deeper look into what it says? The average fan card, okay? The average fan has Floyd Mayweather winning rounds 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. That's 9 out of 12 of the rounds, okay?
The
so if you look at the average fan,
the controversy rating is 62%. Is that wrong?
You know how they calculate that, right? They look at the people who disagree with the official judges' scorecard. So if they have 116 to 112 for Floyd, but someone sees it 117 to 111 for Floyd, then it shows a controversy rating. It shows that
there's
someone
3
disagrees
cards.
with it.
No. It says right
there's
here.
3 cards with 2 outcomes.
It says the percentage of fan cards that disagree with an official result. What was the official result? Floyd Mayweather UD,
an official
right?
result. 118 to 110, 116 to 112, 116 to 112.
No. Floyd Mayweather UD. That's the official result. How do you compare? Look, how do you compare 1 scorecard to 3 scorecards?
Yeah, when 2 of them are the same.
Okay, you can look down the list yourself, and you can also see what I'm saying is true. You can have a look at the majority of the scorecards, as I've been doing, and I've yet to find any for Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, let me ask you something, L Dog. Who do you thought won the second fight between Triple G and Canelo?
Triple G.
You thought you thought he won the fight. So what I'm saying is, so then you agreed with most of the fans, and you agreed with the sports writers that were there that night. because the majority of them thought he won the
Yes,
fight.
the majority of the same people who scored the fight for Floyd
All
Mayweather
right, so
against
but
Manny
I'm
Pacquiao
gonna give
scored
you.
it for Triple G.
Okay, so but there are Canelo fans or just boxing fans that would disagree with that, and you know what they have on their side? The official scorecards.
I have a question for L Dog. So let's say we put up this side in Tagalog in the Philippines. How many, what percentage of the people in the Philippines do you think are gonna score the fight for Pacquiao?
Yeah.
Just a
The
guess.
vast majority, just like if you
Yeah.
went to
So this is
the inner
so this
cities
isn't
and said score this fight to Floyd Mayweather,
so this
that
is
they would probably score it 12-0 for Floyd.
I just wanted a yes or no quick answer anyway. So this is an American website. Most of the people responding there, if they're not American, they're definitely Anglo. So is this a really representative sample of all the people all over the world that watch this fight? No. Now I'll grant you that the Filipino scorecards would be biased in favor of Pacquiao, but that's exactly what you're looking at here. So I mean, I saw your evidence and I disqualify it. Let's move on.
Look, when Cotto fought Mayweather, a lot of Puerto Ricans that I know, a lot of them were family members, they thought Cotto won the fight. I disagree. I thought it
Well,
was
I
a very
mean,
close
yeah,
fight.
because Mayweather doesn't exactly win fights.
That's what I'm trying to say, Durden. Okay,
I
look,
had that fight a draw, man. I thought it was a draw.
it was a close fight, right? Look. I thought Mayweather edged it out. That's my opinion, right? So it goes to show you that
Mayweather survives fights. He doesn't win
he
them.
survives fights. So it's when I hear that he schooled Pacquiao, yo, don't talk to me about boxing if you think that's schooling.
Yeah.
Schooling is nobody debates a schooling. You could try, you could do what the LDBC did with Wilder and Fury in the rematch and come up with conspiracy theories, but no way are you're gonna lie about the results. What happened in the fucking ring? That wasn't a schooling, that was a political win.
That
All
was
it
a
was.
school, man.
That's what
Floyd
okay.
against
What did he
Floyd
do?
against Pacquiao.
What did he do that schooled him?
He
Same
neutralized Pacquiao's style,
How?
and he consistently hit him with pull counters that entire
That's
fight.
right.
Manny
That's right.
Pacquiao, for whatever reason, could not make a simple adjustment to get rid of the pull counter. He ran into that counter every single time as if
Can you
something
make a
new was going to
highlight
happen.
video showing those punches?
Yeah,
Because
somebody did.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
Somebody
you're not gonna find five
And
clean
No,
pull
precise,
time out,
counters.
time out.
you
Precise.
can even film a
Precise.
video like you
Precise.
did, where you
Hold
you
up.
slow motion the fight, you close your eyes, you mute the sound, and you imagine Pacquiao won the fight, and you can break it down
That's
how
not
in
an
your
argument, dude.
imagination
That
he
is
won
not
the
an
fight.
argument. You're just emotional. That's not an
Remember the
argument.
guy that made a video? He made a video and he tried to debunk your what you call it? Your film study on the fight.
Yeah.
This guy, I guess Precise said, well, then make a video. Show me where I was wrong. And in the video, he's trying to show him that he's wrong. Now, maybe he's a bad editor. I don't know. But he's actually proving his point. I think it was the Pacquiao. I'm pretty sure it was the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
I never even watched it, but I asked people like, show me these clean punches, and it never happened. But L Dog, prove me wrong. Show me 5 clean, not partially blocked, not grazing, but like clean head snapping pull counters by Mayweather. Challenge. Can you do that?
Dude, so you want one where his head obviously snaps back?
Yeah, that's a scoring
5,
blow.
bro.
That's an obvious scoring blow.
You said
No,
he
because
I
look,
said-
if you hit someone with a jab, but they've got their head forward, it's blocked like somewhat, but it splits the gloves, it's not going to snap your head back, but it's still a scoring punch because
What
it
you
splits
said-
the glove.
I cut.
It's a
L Dog,
punch.
what you said.
How
What you
would the
said-
judge see that then? How would the
He
judge see
schooled
that?
him, and he was consistently landing the pull counter. So what that sounds like to me, over 12 rounds, is maybe 5 per round. So 60. I didn't ask for 60. I just asked for 5. Clean head snapping. If you're talking about schooling, yeah, clean head snapping pull counters by Floyd Mayweather, 5. I think you could probably find 5, but that's all you're gonna find. Do the video. Let's put your money where your mouth is. That's all I'm saying. We could all talk shit. You think you could step up to someone who's done the work and showed what they saw just by saying shit and talking to me like I imagined stuff? Okay, well then show and prove, motherfucker. Do your own video and let's see it. Because I mean, you're a whole bunch of hot air and no action. That's Like, it's completely and utterly disrespectful. You could disagree with me, but to say that I imagine things when I show them to you,
I mean, Precise,
step
you
up to the plate
literally
and show it to
imagine
me.
Teofimo Lopez getting knocked out by Vasyl Lomachenko.
Okay, you didn't even understand the point I was making, so I won't even like, dude. Nuance seems to be above your pay grade. Let me just put it to you this
I
way.
mean,
Make
nuance
the
seems to
video.
be above your pay grade, which
Make
is
the
why you
video.
couldn't understand that Billy Joe Saunders was taking a dig at people when he said he was just going to take a dive.
That's your opinion.
Okay, so
Well,
that's
exactly.
But
I could give you
wait
the
a
same
second.
response.
Right. So it's just,
See,
And I
this
don't
is like
mind that.
Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Precise.
Get
You're
emotional.
just walking into my counters, Precise. You know, just like
Just look, just
Manny
because
Pacquiao.
you're saying things, that doesn't mean that like they're true. It's your opinion, right? I'm not gonna get all butthurt like you because somebody else has a different opinion. I'm definitely not gonna, like, whatever. I won't even go there. But look, challenge 5 clean pull counters. Like, step up to the plate, man. Because you're doing a whole bunch of talking, but you're not willing to do the work. Now, if it is your opinion that Billy Joe Saunders was fucking around, I mean, whatever. We all saw what happened. I could just as well say you're in denial about what happened because the fucker quit. He said he was going to show up and take his paycheck, and he didn't go out on his shield. We saw Inoue he got cracked by a legit fucking hard puncher that has destroyed people's faces and disconnected them from fucking their senses. And he fought for like something like 8 or 9 rounds with the broken orbital bone because it's a big fight. Everything is on the line. It's the biggest fight in boxing. And this dude quits on his stool like a bitch because he had a black eye. Even if his orbital bone was broken in 20 different fucking places, he's still a bitch. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do. Soon as the going got tough, he collected his fucking paycheck and he went home. And for you to completely disregard that, you really have to spin. You're the one imagining things. We're just saying this is what he said and this is what he did. It checks out, okay? What he promised he was going to do and then did it. It all aligns. It all checks out. But we're somehow imagining things, and you're speaking the truth while at the same time saying that you're interpreting what he said, meaning you're using you're literally admitting that you're using your imagination to translate what it is that he said.
You said
he
you're
didn't
saying
mean
he was
that,
Right, because I'm not autistic. I can see the meaning
That's not an
between
argument.
the words. Some people they can't see a deeper meaning when things are being said. I look at Billy Joe Saunders' situation as ironic. The guy joked about quitting, and then he actually quit because Canelo beat the fuck out of
so
him.
you're trolling, L Dog. I already watched you do this plenty of times. You're trolling.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem.
Okay, because I want to say. So you just said that it's just ironic that the guy basically said he was going to quit,
and then he quit.
Then he quit.
Absolutely. I think he joked
Okay,
about
that's
quitting.
fine.
He made fun of his fellow
Great.
countrymen for quitting, and then Canelo beat the fuck out of him and made him quit. He
All right,
didn't
L Dog.
intend
How about
to
this,
quit.
L Dog?
He
I'll
just
make you
quit.
a deal. I'll make you a deal. I respect your opinion so long as you respect mine. How about that? Agree to disagree. Do you think you can handle that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to surrender, I'll accept it.
See, like, you're petty. You're just petty, bro. You're petty and immature. That's okay. We could move
I'll
on.
let you throw in the towel like Billy Joe Saunders. That's
And
fine.
anyway, who do you think Canelo's gonna fight next? Because he's probably gonna cherry pick Plant, and the same thing's gonna happen again. Plant's probably gonna quit just like Billy Joe. And then Canelo's gonna be undisputed, and everyone's gonna be like, "Viva la Mexico, Canelo!"
In my opinion, you can't cherry pick a world champion,
Yes,
let
you
alone
can.
one that was undefeated and
Oh my god.
and an Olympian.
Oh, Dog, Plant's not good. Like, I don't care what you say, he's not a good fighter.
He's an undefeated world champion.
I don't
Canelo's
care
gonna
if
fight
he's
him to
100.
become undisputed.
I don't care if he's 100 and Plant's not a good fighter.
Also,
So I
when
don't
you
want
were
to see that fight.
also when you were asked to give 5 examples of Floyd Mayweather punching Pacquiao in the face, what you described was actually a punch that Pacquiao blocked, right? Because what you're saying is, oh, if he hits the guy's arm and then it hits the other arm and then the glove touches him.
That's a
Am I
blocked
supposed to
punch.
count that? That's a blocked punch.
Yeah.
No,
That's
it's
not
not a
clean
blocked
landed
punch.
punch.
If the knuckle area of the glove makes it to your face.
That's not true. Tall dog. If you box
Okay.
it's
So
not
if I throw a right hand at someone, right, and the knuckle area
You'll
hits
probably
them right
break
on
your
the
hand.
face, but the thumb portion of my right hand happens to ever so slightly graze one of their gloves, it's a blocked punch somehow.
No,
If
L
I
dog.
take
It has
off
to have
all the
force,
power,
force with it. L dog. It
right?
has to have
If
force
someone
with it.
takes off all the power from your punch and the knuckle lands with nothing behind it,
Shit,
are you
L
gonna
Dog's
call
on
it a
fire,
good
bro.
punch?
I mean,
Yeah,
did you
you
see
need to have
Pacquiao's
force.
face? His face
That's
was all
not the
fucked
rule.
up
That's right,
after
L
that
Dog.
fight.
That's right, L Dog. You tell
L
him, bro.
dog. You need force
I
with
mean,
behind your
let's
punches.
not forget, since we're back to that fight, man. I mean, my God, didn't Freddie Roach admit that fucking Manny Pacquiao lost?
That's not an argument. Make the video. Make the video.
Right, so
Yeah, fuck a video, bro.
I don't know,
It
man.
never happened then. Yeah, I
But,
mean,
you know,
you're bringing a
shout
knife
out
to
to
a gunfight, and you
shout
can
out to
callous.
Let's move
Hey,
on, man. Come on.
we're bringing nuclear bombs
shout
to
out to
war, bro.
Canelo. He's gonna beat Caleb Plant. He's gonna become undisputed, and when he
Boom!
does
Look at
that,
that fucking explosion, dog.
he'll have done what Manny Pacquiao failed to do his entire career, and that's become a unified world champion. Oh wait, but he's already done that. He'll be a 3-weight unified world champion.
L Dog, you're a little boy, just a fucking immature and petty, bro. Like nobody's feelings are hurt by your opinions, bro. Like that you're only showing how much your own feelings are fucking hurt by the fact that like we don't suck Canelo's dick, bro. Like it's just a little bit lame. You would never find me.
L Dog doesn't suck
Hold
Canelo's
on.
dick,
You
bro.
would never find me on a panel where people are like shitting on Manny Pacquiao, trying to get on and try to convince anybody and stick up for Pacquiao. Man, I'd have to be like really have no respect for myself to try to do some shit like that, man. Come on, like you could take your little shots at everybody and think that you're like winning some kind of a fucking debate, but anytime you're ready to have a fucking conversation where grown men can discuss boxing and disagree with one another, I mean,
Hey, well, technically, L Dog is 21 years old, so he is a grown man, sir.
Oh, I'm a little older than that.
I mean, it's
But,
just
you
like,
know, what I'm
look,
saying,
bro, I
you know,
ask you
what
to,
I get
agree
Precise is
to
trying to
disagree
say
and
is,
move on. No, I'm not trying to say anything. I
Maybe
said
you're just getting old.
yes, I'm very old.
hey, but
You know,
this is free
Perhaps.
smoke, man. You know, we're having this debate. This is
it's
boxing.
not a
You know,
debate.
we
Elbow,
gotta
you don't even know what a
express
debate
all
is, bro.
types of opinions, man. Respect and recognize for not doing what some of these channels do. And as soon as someone disagrees with
That's right.
the
Recognize it's
consensus
doing some
opinion,
real shit right here.
they just kick you off, bro. This is a real boxing talk, man. This is like on the corner, man. We're going back and forth.
Well, thank you, L Dog. I'm gonna since you said that, I'm gonna say thank you and respond to this.
Listening to Al Puppy is like listening to a duck being choked. That's
So
kind of funny.
you gotta answer that. I mean,
Dude, make the
Shout
video,
out to
bro.
Jason Bourne.
I don't
No,
think
I'm going to
anybody
make the
even
video.
disagrees with you on the Canelo point, right? All we're saying is that some of us really truly believe that it's not all real.
Yeah.
I don't think it's real either, bro.
We're not saying that he's not going to be undisputed. He probably most likely will, like 99%.
I think he will be undisputed.
Canelo
if
will
they
never.
fight.
Canelo will never lose again in his career.
You've
It's
said
not
this
even
before.
that. The guys he's fighting are not that good.
Yeah.
Durden
they're
Durden
not
has
good
said
at all.
Canelo will never lose another fight.
I think he
I
will.
don't know. I feel like
I
he
think
will.
it'll be later when he's
He
ready
will,
to be-
definitely.
yeah, he'll lose to somebody.
When
I feel like
when
after-
Canelo's 40 years old, he will lose the fight.
No, I feel like after Caleb Plant, he'll fight Beterbiev, and I think he'll lose to Beterbiev.
No, Beterbiev will take a dive.
No, I think Beterbiev will beat him, man. I think that's just how it plays out.
No,
You know,
nobody
Canelo-
will ever lose to Canelo. That's the fucking rule of the fucking boxing community, dude.
Canelo's
Canelo
gonna
will never
retire in
lose.
like 2-3 years, man. He's gonna retire. In a
No,
couple
he's gonna
years.
retire when he's like 45.
I don't think
Nah,
so.
he's
I
been
think he's
boxing.
going to retire.
Canelo's gonna
old.
be the heavyweight champion of the world. Watch.
Canelo makes probably like $2 million a month, man. Just off
Canelo
money.
will buy his way to the heavyweight championship.
The guy's making money out of money at this point in time. Like he's 2-3 years, 5. If he fights 5, I'll be shocked if he fights for 5 more years. Who is he going to fight?
not gonna
man?
fight.
Well, I mean, all the fights
No.
are fake. So what does he have to lose? Like, I mean, why
Well,
not?
listen.
keep
I
fighting?
mean, what was look at the money he's making, Durden. He's making so much money that in 2 or 3 years, he's probably ready to call it quits. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they got a new star on the line.
But all these
Maybe
fights are trash. It's not going to be long before people. I mean, maybe I fucking underestimate people's ability to think for themselves. But like these fights are boring. They're trash. They're not competitive. I think it's only a matter of time before people just get over it, or he's gonna do the whole Jake Paul type of thing where he, like fights De La Hoya or something, and like starts fucking picking corpses up off the street, and I don't know, man. It's gonna be a fucking. It already is a circus, and
this
so
is
the
this
next
is
level.
this is my guy right here, Precise. This is gonna be the next one right here. My boy Balanga, the fucking Goonie looking motherfucker.
So Precise, I imagine you must have hated watching Lomachenko, right? I mean, especially at 130. I mean, that guy's
I
fights were
did.
just not competitive at all, man.
I did. That's why I wanted him to move up
So
and
did you
challenge himself.
criticize him for it?
So I was like the only guy on BDA saying that I want to see Lomachenko move up to 135, and I want to see him go up to 140, and then if he could be successful, go up to 147. So, dude, you're making like all these statements about me without the slightest idea of who it is that I am. So I would appreciate if you like got off my dick and just talk boxing. Thank you.
Right, I never knew we were talking about something else other than boxing.
No, you're talking about me. You. Like, you're petty, dude. Grow the fuck up.
I mean, I'm talking to you, and we're talking about boxing, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, but you're just taking shots at me, and I think it's lame and corny, bro. Grow up.
I think this guy right here is taking shots at my boy.
But yo, about Berlanga,
Motherfucker.
look, yeah, the guy like is being overproduced, overhyped, but there's something there, man. Like you built this guy up correctly, not just strength. Like he got good speed and he's schooled. I'm not saying he's great or anything like that, but I'm not saying he will go far, but there's definitely you could mold him to be something like legitimate, like a Margarito type guy. You know what I mean? Not the
That's
greatest.
exactly
but,
who I see him
yeah,
as
that
a
type of
Margarito
guy.
type. If he could, forget about the record. Records are it's just a product of when you
Fight
a lot.
everybody in good fights.
That's all that is. But I think if they can build him the right way, he could become that type where he's fighting these guys and he's too relentless. He's just coming at them and hitting them with good shots. I thought that fight that he had, the 8-round fight, I don't know. Look, I expected him to get exposed someone, but I think he really came through. He's bashing that dude. Now, yeah, maybe he should have got that guy out of there, but I think this helps him.
I haven't seen it. Look, a lot of those guys.
It goes 8 rounds. Look, he should have got that guy out of there. I agree with that. But I think the kid being in that position showed me that obviously he knows how to box, right? He can box. He can mix it up a little bit. He needs fights like that because if he keeps knocking guys out in the first round or the first 3 rounds.
What was he like, 16-0 going into that fight?
With first round knockouts, all of them, every single one of them.
So he's never even had a 2-rounder, bro. He never graduated to a 4-rounder.
Yeah.
So it's like to go from 1-rounders to 8-rounders. I don't know how good this guy was, but to like look decent and legit.
Decent. Yeah, he was decent in the sense that he doesn't have a losing record. He fights bums and he beats those bums, right? Like that kind of decent.
And a lot of these guys he fought, they dove. I'm not saying they were like paid to fucking to
they
take
got
a
hit
dive.
one time and
and they're like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'll never get a decision against this guy, and he'll probably knock me out anyway. So I'm just gonna sit down right now, and that's all she wrote.
That one guy he punched. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop us so someone else can come on. Thanks for having me, man. See you later.
Peace,
later, bro.
Peace out, apology.
Later.
Hey, but Belanga, to me, he just didn't listen to his trainer. Okay, if he followed his trainer's advice of staying behind the jab and going to the body more, he would have broke that guy down and knocked him out. He was too busy headhunting.
I agree.
And trying to knock him out.
That's the mistakes that I saw him make, for
he
sure.
needs to leave Andre Rozier.
I would too. I agree with you on that.
He's throwing like one punch at a time.
Gay as fuck, man.
I don't know about Rozier if he needs to leave him because I think Rozier's advice was good. I just don't think Berlanga was following it.
He was telling him to go to the body more, and I agree. But I honestly I don't feel he can grow with Rozier. Like, look, let's see what happens. It's all about the fighter at the end of the day. It's all about him trusting in his trainer, and that could work out. But Anyway, I do believe that he could definitely improve more. I saw some, like changing the pace, changing levels. He wasn't doing that. If he did that, oh man, what he has, he could be fucking, yeah, he could be a real threat. He can, I'm not saying he could be a superstar level type of guy that he's gonna go fucking undisputed and all that stuff. No, I'm not saying that. But he gives himself a lot more of a chance to get to, to try to get to that level.
I mean, most fighters coming up the way just coming up basically out of the amateurs, they've had more experience than he has in like 4 or 5 fights. They already got more experience. So you really got to treat him as if he had just had 4 or 5 fights. You know what I mean? You got to take it slow with this dude.
Yeah.
Very precise. Do you think that someone can knock out someone with no experience?
Of course.
That someone can knock out someone with no experience?
Someone with no experience can knock out someone with a lot of amateur wins.
Probably not.
Probably
unless
not.
they're
I've
like
done
super
it.
gifted.
I've done it.
Who?
Oh, well, come on, man. We're talking professional boxing, right?
No, I've done it to a Mexican Olympian.
In sparring.
In sparring, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't care.
You don't care?
It's sparring, bro.
It's possible.
It's possible, but
You see girls knock out guys like on like,
Yeah, it happens like that. You ever
viral
saw that
videos.
fucking? You ever saw that video?
So you're
with,
saying I have a chance?
Hey, yo, Rick, we got OG backstage.
Who's that? Okay, let me see. OG, I don't even know who that is. All right.
Hey, precise. I want to spar Mike Montero, dude. I want to call him out.
Hit him in the balls for me, man.
I want him to
That's a
fucking
big
box me.
boy. I don't know, Durden. You better.
No,
be
I want to
prepared.
box him, dude. I want to box Mike Montero, dude.
Yo,
He's for
you
real,
guys
bud.
hear me, bro?
Who's this?
You better
What's up,
calm the
OG?
fuck down, whoever the fuck this is. If
Hey,
this is
yo,
Hefe,
Wait,
y'all hear me,
Durden,
bro?
Hefe, is that
Hefe.
you?
Why
Hefe,
Yeah,
you better
bro.
fucking show some respect on this stream.
What the fuck? Hey, man,
No, seriously,
Guys, I'm
precise
about
is
to
here.
end this
You better
stream in a
fucking
sec.
calm the fuck down.
Hold on, Durden. Don't. Damn. I'm about to end the stream in a few.
No. Keep it going, dude. This is
But
a
go ahead,
great stream.
Hefe. What do you have to
Nah,
say
man,
about your boy
L
Canelo?
Dog was bringing up good points. So was Precise, but I feel Precise has an agenda against Canelo. You know what I'm saying? This is my first
Well,
time.
precise doesn't like Mexicans, right? Precise.
Absolutely right. Not a single Mexican.
Yeah,
Ever.
he has like an agenda, and it's cool if you have an agenda, bro. It's cool to be a
But you
fanboy
don't have
every
an
once in a
agenda?
while,
Do
bro.
you not
But
have an agenda?
you got exposed, man. You know what I'm saying? Just take
OG,
the L,
hey,
bro.
OG, do you have an agenda?
I don't have no agendas, bro.
Why
I'm
are you
just a
here?
boxing
Why are you
fan.
here, bro? Why are you here?
Hey,
Damn,
bro,
OG,
I'm
he's putting the
speaking
pressure
Yeah,
boxing,
on
what's
you.
bro.
your
OG,
agenda, OG?
bro, just a question.
I
Why
don't
you
have
here?
an agenda, bro.
But
I
why
just
you
speak
here?
facts.
No, precise. You're right, dude. This guy definitely has an agenda. He just
OG,
doesn't want to tell
yo,
it.
Wait, it's a
why
battle
you here,
between.
bro?
He's
Just answer the question. Why are you here, OG?
Hey, bro, don't worry about it, bro. Why you getting
Oh,
emotional,
don't
bro?
worry about it, bro.
I mean, it is what it is.
I don't know why this dude's getting all emotional, bro. Like your points,
Oh,
they're
you're getting
invalid,
emotional,
bro.
precise.
They're
Thank you.
invalid. You got body. Move on from it, bro.
Oh, snap,
Now,
dude.
when you say he got body, is it
Oh,
like
Hefe, you gotta
everybody
elaborate, bro. You can't
everybody
just come in here and
everybody
stay in this
agrees
shit.
with you that he got bodied or what?
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about, Hefe.
No, he got body
Hefe, you
by
gotta
L
come
Dog,
in.
bro.
Hefe, you gotta come in here
So
and
in your
elaborate, bro.
opinion,
Regarding the whole Manny
yeah,
Pacquiao, the Canelo
in your
situation,
opinion,
that was like an
wow.
hour debate, man.
Well,
yeah, but
let us know.
Yeah, bro, this dude's a Canelo hater, bro. He needs to stop hating, man.
Kind of
He
is,
just
though.
needs
I think
to.
Precise does hate on Canelo.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
your agenda is to get me to like Canelo.
No, it's not an agenda, bro. I'm just bringing facts.
You don't
You
even
know
know what
I'm saying?
agenda means, dude.
He wants you to
Bro,
support
you
the
know, bro,
Mexican
why are you trying to
community,
be a
bro.
smart ass, bro? Why are you trying
I'm
to be a
not a
smart ass?
smart
I'm
ass.
trying to
You're
speak
using
boxing, bro.
words you don't even understand what they mean. That's not being a
Bro, I
smart
know
ass.
more than you, bro. You
Okay,
don't know shit, bro.
I don't know shit. You know more
Just
than
because
me.
you speak slow
Can you
and
define
talk like a
agenda?
fucking faggot, that
Can
doesn't
you
mean
def-
shit, bro.
all right,
Oh, shit.
Okay,
All right, all
okay,
right.
here
You
we
get
go.
okay. So now you get into name callings, faggot, and
Yeah,
all that
it's
stuff.
boxing talk. I'm the
Sounds like
emotional one though, right?
sounds like you getting emotional now.
Nah, I'm not emotional, bro.
So
This is just
why the
Come
why
on,
the
Hefe, bring it, bro. Come on,
why the
represent.
faggot?
Represent
I'm
the
just being raw,
MXPC.
bro.
Let's
I'm just being
Raw.
raw, bro.
argue precise the way you can.
Tough guy, tough
Do what you
internet
gotta do.
guy.
All I'm trying to say, bro, we're witnessing greatness watching Canelo, bro. He broke down Billy Joe Saunders. He beat down Triple G. I heard this dude say that
Beat him
Triple G
down.
won the second fight, bro. That's a lie.
A lot of people thought he
Canelo
won the
beat his
second fight.
ass
A lot of
8-4,
people.
9-3, bro.
Nah, you
And if
bugging,
he ever
man. You
wants
get
to
the fuck
rewatch
out
that
of
fight
He
with me,
won
bro,
9 rounds. 9 rounds. 9 rounds.
I'm saying right now, if you guys ever want to rewatch that
Oh
fight
yeah,
and
that
break
sounds like a
down
lot
yeah,
of
sounds like
fun,
a
man.
plan.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. I'm down for that.
break down that fight and count the punches, bro, effective punches, bro, and defense,
Yeah,
Canelo won that fight, bro.
totally.
Easily.
How about
Punches
the
to the
first
elbow
fight?
or
Ten to
Okay, how about
four.
the first fight? Who won the first fight?
Triple G won that fight, bro.
Okay.
I'll give it
You know what?
Absolutely.
You know what,
Hey,
Hefe?
you gotta admit, Precise. Hefe's kind of reasonable. He
Look,
admits Triple G won the first fight.
nah, I don't agree with you that he won fucking 9 rounds to 3 in the second fight. I don't know
Not
what.
in the second fight. I think it's more
I
like a 7-5
if
kind
you
of thing.
said you had a 7-5, okay. I mean, listen, that's fine.
No,
Right?
that's why I
But
said 8-4, 9-3. A lot of people had a 9-3. I
To
had it
me,
personally 8-4.
to me, it's 7-5
based on
either
what?
way. Okay,
Based on what?
you could have it to Canelo, you could have it to Triple G.
Based on the fact that he's Mexican, bro, and you just hating.
Well, hold on
yo,
a
no,
second because
Well,
OG,
I'm not
Mexicans do
Mexican.
make all the money, Precise. That
OG,
is correct.
are you Mexican or Mexican?
I'm Mexican, bro.
Precise. Where do
Mexican,
Mexicans come up with all this money to support the boxing industry?
The cartel.
Bro.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
The cartel.
Come on, Precise. You don't.
Cartel,
You
man.
give a shit.
You tell me, man. You're
Chapo.
kind of Mexican. You're
God
trying
damn
to
it!
be.
I don't want to say nothing.
Hey, stop hating on that Castizo pride,
Who's
bro.
Mauricio Suleiman? Is he Mexican, Precise?
That's a Mexican Jew, bro. Don't you know what?
Oh, there we go. Fuck yeah, baby. I'm giving you a round of applause. I love you, Precise. Good one.
Sulaiman. I mean, come on, man. That's a Jewish last name. Everybody knows.
Hell
that.
yeah, Precise. I mean, at least, hey, that's for the record, though.
But that doesn't
Precise,
mean anything.
Precise,
So what?
Precise.
Okay, he's a Jewish Mexican. What does that mean?
No, but Precise is good, man. At least he's
Hey,
naming them.
but
I'm glad to get
recognize
on your
the
good
He's good.
side
He's good.
finally.
He's not one of
I'm
them. He's not one of them.
personally calling out this dude Precise on the Kumite, bro. BDA.
No, Precise
Let's
is.
make
He
that
just
shit
cleared his
Oh,
fucking name.
shit.
God damn it,
No,
Hefe. He just
no.
cleared himself. He
Shit.
just
Dirty,
did.
dirty,
He just
dirty,
told
dirty,
Iman's
hold
a
up.
fucking Jew, bro. He just told us. He's not in
No,
on the
on the
game.
Canelo Triple G, the rematch. I want the
Come
Kumite
on.
one, bro.
Hey, this would be a good debate, man. I feel like it's
Come
it's
on,
Because
man.
I'm
I
an
only debate
intellectual,
my
bro.
equals, bro. I would only debate one of my equals.
Look at these
Guys
dudes, bro,
like
trying
you,
to
That's
I
right.
figure
teach.
stuff out.
Hefe's not really.
Guys like you, I
Hefe, you
teach.
got to get up on your level, bro.
There really isn't anything to debate if you're actually using the actual
Hey,
scoring criteria.
Precise. Do you want to debate Ring IQ?
Define
Didn't Ring
debate.
IQ body
Do
him?
you want to get paid for it though? Like, if you got paid for it, would you do it?
No,
No.
no.
Not even if you got paid to debate Ring IQ on a monthly basis.
Bro, this dude Precise has
Debate
like an
on a
elitist
monthly
mentality,
basis.
bro. He's like, oh, I'm so good. I don't debate these dudes,
Come
bro.
on,
And then
like
when
Ring
he
IQ is a
debates
good
them,
debate with you
no,
though.
no,
OG,
Like,
no,
that's
bro.
good
So
When he
does
entertainment.
debates,
Canelo.
and then
Wait,
when he
OG,
debates
OG.
people, he
So
gets
does
bodied and
Canelo.
shit, bro.
But so does
OG,
Canelo.
OG, I
so
was
does
trying to
Canelo.
debate you, but I mean, you ducked me, man. I asked you what agenda means. If you could
Hey,
define the
bro, I ain't
word
trying to
agenda.
debate words, bro. I'm trying to
No, I
debate
don't
facts.
debate words.
Be honest,
Hold
man.
on. Okay, wait, guys,
I've
I gotta
seen
end
I've
soon.
seen
Come on,
yeah.
I gotta end soon. I'll let you get what you have to say real quick, L Dog.
I was
What I'm
gonna
gonna
say
say
I've
is
seen
this.
Precise
Go
debate
ahead.
once, man, and it was against D Jefferson. Now they're debating about Loma versus Lopez. And all I'm gonna say is, I thought Precise won the debate until the fight happened, and then I realized D Jefferson was right all along.
But D Jefferson said 7th round brutal knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he
But
couldn't
D
have been that
Jefferson
right.
picked the winner, at least, I guess.
I mean, I
Hey,
guess you could.
so
Yeah.
Come on, L Dog.
Wait,
so
time
this
out, time
dude
out.
Precise
Anyways,
is struggling
Precise, you're
with D
awesome, dude.
Jefferson, bro.
Even though I give you a hard time, I
OG,
troll your
like,
ass.
how
You're
deep
cool.
did I get in that ass of yours for you to like keep stalking me all over the damn
Oh,
I
place?
want to end, but these guys are getting it.
How deep did I get in that ass of
Damn.
yours, man? I hope I used the condom because you seem like a real grimy motherfucker, man.
There's no
I'm
need
out
to
of
get
here. You guys have a
emotional.
good
There's no
one.
need to get emotional, Precise.
we love you, Precise. Peace out to
guys,
Precise.
no, listen.
Oh, he left,
You
bro.
guys are.
God.
I gotta end. You guys were good. I appreciate it. It was fun.
We
Yeah,
want to
it's fun.
entertain the crowd, bro. That's
Yeah,
what
we
we're about.
entertained. But I gotta end because I'm doing this on my phone and the battery's like on 2%.
You guys shouldn't make it too personal, though, man. Especially
Yeah.
you, Hefe.
I
You making
didn't
it
make it
personal?
personal.
No, I
Not
don't
even a
make it
debate.
personal, bro. This is just how I
MXBC
speak, bro.
MXBC pretends to be personal, but we're not
Hefe,
personal,
what's wrong?
bro.
What's that picture you have there? What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's a flying pyramid, man.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Look
Hey,
for Control
recognize
Network by Skillet.
that's Nigeria 2,000 years ago before the
Damn.
creation of the white man.
like you guys are trying to use words, and it's just not even affecting anybody's emotions. So it's like,
I mean, you're still talking about it, so I assume it had a
Hey, this
long
stream's
lasting
probably got
effect.
more
All
views
right, guys, I gotta end.
because of us. No, Fight Scout. This stream
what's
probably
up?
has more views because of the MXBC, because of the Mexican boxing community.
Thanks
This is
to the
fact.
Mexicans, man. I've always said it.
Thanks to the
Mexicans, man.
Mexicans and the Croatians. Croatians as well.
Mexicans doing the dirty job, bro.
Croatians putting in that work too, man.
Mexicans are good fans, man. They're good fans. They make for
Yeah, but L Dog's Eastern European.
yeah. Shout out to them. I don't discriminate. I like Eastern Europeans. They're cool too.
Pink Panthers, Eastern European. Boxing Monk, Eastern European.
Hey, dude, and go sober up, man.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're
shout
ending
out.
the stream. We're ending the stream. That's what it's all about. We're finalizing the shit.
Shout out. Shout out. All right, man. Listen, man. Thanks for hopping on. Fight Scout, Durden, L Dog, Precise, Hefe. To the next one. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
all right, laters.